I don't know, dude. I don't even really fuck with White Claws. It's like
I don't either, bro.
Like I said,
seltzer or anything
dries you out as you drink it.
Yeah, it's got a fake taste to it. Like
fake taste.
Yeah, if you drop like a Tums in water or something like that,
you're a
taste like. I always said
that's a Perrier right there.
Yeah,
Pill water.
Trulies or like Claws. I've always said that they taste like you're licking a battery while somebody describes what a fruit tastes like.
That's what
it's just spicy water.
Yeah.
With an essence. Like that's an
essence.
It's like when the tap runs out of all the actual syrup with the fucking.
It's what West Baltimore's water tastes like right now.
Oh no.
All right, welcome everybody back to Harbor Discussions. This is episode 5. I am here with the entirety of the Maryland hardcore band Deep Rest. Y'all officially hold the record now for the most people in a single episode. Sucka What did have that, but y'all beat them now.
Gang shit.
If y'all could please introduce yourself by name and your role in the band, just for the people listening.
Oh, I gotta go first?
Yeah, the guy in the back. I was say like, we gotta do this. I'm not quite certain.
If you talk loud enough, it's okay.
Okay.
I think we'll do like this. What's up? I don't know why I sound like an R&B singer right now. Yeah, what's up, girl? This is Nah, what's up? I'm Squid. I play drums in Deep Rest. Now you got Shannon. And I play bass and show up. And do stuff. Carry things. Smoke things.
My name's Gabe. I play guitar in Deep Rest.
And my name is Don Trey. Everybody calls me Trey for short. And I do vocals in Deep Rest.
Beautiful. Where can the people listen to Deep Rest, and where can they find y'all on social media and stuff?
I want to say you should be able to find us on every single platform. Right. Honestly, we did.
Except Twitter.
Yeah, we don't have a Twitter. We got to get on that. I'm not gonna hold you. We definitely got to get on that. We're kind of lacking on that degree. But you can look up us on Facebook. You can look us up on Instagram. It should be Deep Rest 410. Yeah. Real easy. Just the old Baltimore area code. I don't know what this new.
Yo, they're getting rid of it.
Yeah. They're getting rid of the 410.
Yeah. What do you mean they're getting rid of it?
Yeah, they're phasing it out. So within the last year, I've had reason to get rid of a few numbers. I got rid of my house number and I got rid of my old cell number. And when I went, I was talking to him. I was like, yo, is there any way, that I can keep this number, maybe transfer it to a line that I use now, and we'll just get rid of the other two? And they were like, no. And actually, she was like, we're phasing them out. I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, it's going to be it's like 240 or 310.
Yeah, it was like 334. It was something. It was like a real wild number.
And 443. So 443 is going to be the new 410.
Yeah, I know 240. My old childhood friend had a 240.
240, yeah.
So that's imprinted in my head.
240 is popular.
That's like I can't even wrap my head around phasing 410 out of
I can't either. I remember one day he started phasing in the 667. And I'm just like, yo, I sound like on the west side of the country.
Yeah. It sounds like you're calling to talk to a sex line or something.
Exactly.
A 667 number leads to bad things.
It's one step from evil, bro. One step from evil.
Yeah, then you're down $250. You got to explain to everybody why you can't go out to dinner. And it's like, it's not
it, bro. It's not it.
Alright, so the band itself, y'all are based out of Baltimore, Maryland. Trey, at the most recent Auto Bar show, you mentioned how you got family on the east and west side and in county. If you guys could just kind of take turns discussing coming up in Baltimore and maybe some misconceptions around the city, because I feel like it kind of does have a bad reputation if you don't live near the city.
I want to say one thing. It's all true. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. I'm going to let you speak, Trey, but I just want to say Baltimore has a reputation because it is Baltimore, but it's beautiful. That's what
it is beautiful.
Yeah. So
it has its moments like anywhere else.
Yeah. But at least with me, like I said before, I have family on east, west. A lot of my cousins now. My grandmother, God bless the dead, was still on the east side. I think they used to live on Rose, North Rose, and everything. So we used to go up there all the time. but West Side, I have like a lot of my cousins still on West Side. I'm a county boy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. Look, I'm not no gang shit or whatever. But like at the same time, like Baltimore has like a real
Clicky mentality.
yeah. It's either clicky mentality or like you have like a real certain demeanor about certain people. And then like so like at least like I'm not saying that you don't have like certain groups in Baltimore that's just kind of weird, but like a typical Baltimorean, especially like southern or like West Baltimore, it's kind of like has like a real like deep like mentality as far as like yo, I don't care what you believe in, don't say no slick shit out your mouth,
Right.
give me my little respect or whatever, everything be fine. And like I tell everybody that visits Baltimore, it's like, look, I'm not saying that you won't get pulled up on, I'm not saying that like shit won't happen if you come into Baltimore, but like 95% of the time, if you mind your business,
Yes.
you're perfectly fine.
That's what
like
I'm
you,
saying.
Because like it's kind of like the whole what's that dumbass shit, like that probability bullshit or whatever. It's not like, okay, you go into like a high crime neighborhood or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Expect some shit that might pop off. You know what I'm saying? To keep your head on the swivel kind of shit. But like other than that, mind your business. Don't cause no trouble.
Yeah, just carry
Nobody's
yourself correct.
Exactly. No one's going to mess with you. Nobody's going to fuck with you
Yeah, come down
on a
hang
normal
out, it's
basis.
nice.
Yeah, don't
It's
seem
nice.
like you're all scared and suspicious anyways, you know
Like,
what I mean?
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Don't seem like a lick.
look, we get more scared and suspicious the further out we come out of Baltimore
Right.
and everything. Because I know, personally, I know that, like, I guess because of me and my coworkers, we talk about code switching and everything. Like, especially for, like, a black man or a person of color, like, between the two, how we have to, like, switch and, like, to navigate through life in the general consensus. So the further out of Baltimore I get, I'm just like, I'm a little uncomfortable. I can't do the shit
Out of
I
your
would say. I
comfort
can't
zone.
say.
Corn, there's wood houses.
Right.
Like
Shit's MAGA 2024 shit on billboards.
Yo, we started on the way up.
Yeah.
Like,
AKA
as soon as
Carroll
we hit
County.
corn, it's like, bro, this is
Yeah.
the state I live in, and not even 30 minutes from where you live. It's like, fuck. Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
No doubt. I did kind of want to bring up what you were talking about because obviously I'm from Carroll County, not even Baltimore County, and I can say that people from this area and other areas, you know, they tend to like say that they're from Baltimore if they're from a surrounding area to like boost their reputation, you know, like what's y'all's take on that kind of stuff?
For me personally, it's more like, I mean, I know I'm going to have people really going to push back on this, but like for me personally, it's more like, how deep are you into the culture? How respectful you are about the culture? Because like Baltimore is a big ass melting pot
Yeah.
of culture, whether it comes from Asians, us, even like white people, like, you know, even like the spots that we have, the communities we have. There's certain stuff that like personally, because I only been to a few states outside of our state, but I still haven't seen anything that's come close to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Culture wise. So if you sit there, you learn, you spend years, and like I feel like Baltimore will low key like mold you into a Baltimorean.
Yeah.
Like kind of like how you would go to I don't know, like he could elaborate this a little bit better. He was talking about his father and how he moved over to Cali. And he sounds completely different. How he sounds completely different.
Yeah.
And that's me personally, yeah. But like people who like comes from like I guess from here,
Yeah.
Pikesville or whatever, and be like, "Yo, I'm from Baltimore."
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'm like, all right,
How much
cool.
time have you spent? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, Baltimore, it's so small, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
So, everybody knows who the fuck's showing up and who isn't. So, it's just like Trey said, it's just all about how deep into the scene you are. How rooted are you in the culture? How many shows are you actually at? How much do you actually care?
Right.
Yeah. What are you doing in the city too? You know, it's stuff
Right.
like.
What are you putting out to be a part of this? Like, showing up isn't always just enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know around here, I meant more so like in like a street sense, you know what I mean?
Right,
A lot
right,
of people use it to seem tougher, you know what I mean? That
Right,
they,
yeah,
that they go
exactly.
into the city, you know what I mean? But it's like I don't think that's necessarily
I think-
something they should be.
I think
using.
a good merging of worlds is like it kind of what Trey was saying, to touch back on it, it's how much time you spend, and like and the angle too. It's like, why are you representing Baltimore?
Right.
What about the culture? Like, are you in it for the art? Are you in it for the food? Are you in it for like the shows and stuff that we do? Are you in it for the activism? Are you in it for like, or are you in it to like glorify some fucked up shit that the city's trying to like fix?
Yeah, and I feel like that's typically what people are doing.
Right,
out here.
exactly. Yeah. So I mean, like represent Baltimore, like if you want to, like cool, like that puts us out there and it gets more eyes on us and shit like that. I mean, like they're shooting movies downtown right now.
Yeah.
Like Baltimore's well
The production
known.
company was actually staying at my job, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I think aside from all the negative shit, people want to be a part of the culture too. Like there's an art, there's a mica, like stuff like that, and you go to places like Hamden, you go to places like off North Avenue, you go to places that are just covered in beautiful like graffiti and street art and murals and stuff like that. They got love and sign language spray painted all over the place and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
It's one of my favorite things to see as I'm coming into the city, and I wanted to add on to like what you were saying about, because you said like even other places didn't even come close to Baltimore. I definitely think Baltimore's got like a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like every time, just like even driving into the city or even a bigger city, I feel the same way kind of when I'm back home in Colorado where I'm from. Like when I drive into Denver, I don't know. I feel like it just like resonates in my body. You know what I mean?
It's that state. Like when anybody thinks of Maryland, they think of Baltimore. When everybody thinks of Colorado, they think of Denver, or like LA for California and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a hub for sure. Yeah, and it's got its own vibe. I mean, and it's definitely East Coast. I would say it's similar to like how New York's got it going on and shit, and Jersey and Philly and stuff, but it's also got that like southern, there's a certain sweetness about Baltimore too.
Yeah. I gotcha.
But we do suck our own dicks often.
So
like,
for sure.
We do gotta be checked on that every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's a beautifully shit place.
I will also say like what I tell people all the time is like, yo, just be yourself. Like around, like you don't have to act hard. I promise you, like
you'll fit in somewhere.
Yeah,
add to what's going on. Don't take away and fucking.
We are friends with people in life that I personally didn't think I would ever be friends with.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like it, just like either when it comes to punks, skinheads, 1%ers, like. We just go all the way across the board, but like, the whole entire time, everybody knows how we like to have fun when we hit the stage. They know that, like, when they come to us and everything, we're friendly. We're not, we're not gonna. I personally want to know you more than you want to know me more, and everything. Except this guy. probably these two. Me and this guy's a little bit more friendly.
I'm sorry.
And everything. He's friendly too, but like Shannon, he's like, yo, when we doing this, all right, cool. He's like, are we done? All right.
Yeah, it depends on the day and who you're asking. That's like at work, man. I feel like at my job, I feel like I'm perceived different ways. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for certain.
Some people catch you on good days, or just they treat you the right way or talk to you the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Some people see good sides, some people
You'll see the bad side.
Yeah.
We actually wrote a song about that shit too, actually.
Oh, we're gonna get into all that stuff. I wanted to talk about how. I wanted to talk about how Deep Rest formed as a band. So I was like scrolling back through Facebook and stuff and researching, and this was a post. It said, "We started this band, just Paul, Trey, and I, playing riffs in Paul's church for fun. And from that, you were able to include Clay and Shannon." So I want you to talk about how things changed, because obviously you have Gabe now, and what church was this, and how did these early like riff sessions work?
Let me take it.
Yeah, you can take it.
Let me take it. All right. Elaborate.
Because this is honestly the biggest reason why we actually got the chance to start it was because of previous shit, and because of what this guy is about to talk about.
So I grew up in a shitty little neighborhood called Armstead Gardens, and in that neighborhood were a few churches, and my mother went to one of the churches in the neighborhood, and I grew up attending. As a kid does, like some Sundays you're there, some Sundays you're not. Yeah. You're trying to like get out of it so you can watch cartoons or play video games or whatever and shit.
For sure.
But around 15 or so, I started playing music, and I was skipping school heavy. So I was playing guitar in a band and just smoking weed all day, playing guitar, trying to get better, skating in this kid's house. Like,
in the house?
Yeah.
In the house.
Dude, there's
In
so
the
many,
house.
like literally this one question could open up a fucking door that would have a whole hour conversation. We'd have to have like a part 2
Just
and a part
quickly,
3.
was it like
Yeah.
Steve-O's shit where he's like, I had one apartment that was a skate park? Like, did he have like a ramp in
it
his
was
shit?
it was a house, but
Uh-huh.
like it was like I'd pay the bills on the house, and you just keep going to school and whatever and shit, and the house is he's like, okay, bet. So that's what he was doing. I think he was going, as far as I understand it. So he was just going to school, and the house was paid for. So we would practice there and shit, and that's when I started playing drums. A drum kit just showed up one day, and then I started playing. Yeah.
Magic. This is magic.
The drum kit was fake.
and then at the same time, a drum kit showed up at the church, and my mother started playing drums. So she's playing for the church band. I'm playing for this band out of a house, and so a few years down the road, I start playing drums in church. Start getting really good, whatever. Few bands come in and out of that situation, and then I meet this guy, and
Just at church.
no, this was like through the.
It was actually a
neighborhood.
mutual friend of ours.
Yeah, it was in. Yeah.
It was a mutual best friend of ours. Shout out to Don Blair. I don't care what anybody says. The people who know him
Yo,
knows
Don
that
Blair
he's
is
a legend.
Oh, God.
Right,
Don Blair
he
is
is
a legend.
He's an absolute legend.
I love Don Blair.
I'm not trying to advocate for any poor decision making.
Yo, but this motherfucker makes every bad decision great. Like,
Yeah.
I swear to God.
It's good to witness.
And the best thing about it is like he's the only person in the world that could be pissed, drunk, blacked out, greened out at the same damn time.
Trigger warning.
And will just like drive.
Oh, God.
And I
be
would
straight.
trust him
And be
with life.
straight.
And we
And
would
be
always
straight.
make
Oh,
it.
okay.
We would always. He drives like a sober person. Fucked up.
Be
It's
better than your driving
crazy.
instructor.
It
This
is
guy.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so he's the designated drunk driver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
We don't live that life no more. But
right.
Like, that
but
was
it was. This man was so crazy. Just a side tangent, real quick. He is so crazy that I remember one time in this band that we about to talk about. We had like cycle through with like a couple members or whatever, and we were going to either pick up our drummer after Paul like exited for said
We'll get
other
there.
bullshit reasons. Yeah, we get there, and then fucking he started dating our other mutual good best friend or whatever. And stuff like that, and they started drinking. We're drinking. I'm not going to hold you guys. I'm not going to hold you guys. We're drinking and driving down 95, tossing Corona bottles out the
God.
window on the highway. That's how crazy that we. That's exactly.
You live and you learn.
It was crazy.
But we go real fast down the highway and I go.
But yeah, that was 2013. 2013, they were starting a thing together, and then he came to me and was like, "Yo, you should come on trial for this band." And I'm like, I'm mad nervous about this. I'm not gonna hold you because I never met Paul. I only saw Paul through a video, and my first thought of Squid was, why is this motherfucker's dominant foot is his left foot playing on a right-handed style kit?
Right.
Because like I've never seen anybody besides Travis Orban from like Sky Eats Airplane and stuff do something like that, and I always thought it was weird. But I was like, the way how he's playing looks like he's just left-handed.
Right.
It doesn't look like he's just. But yeah, that was my first thought. I was like, I always thought that was weird. And then we randomly meet each other, and then we go to the church that he's talking about, and me and him has been friends ever since. It's been almost 10 years. Actually,
Nice.
Yeah. No, about 10 years. So in that skipping school, playing music in another band, partying, I met Don Blair. You know, I'd get fucking shit-faced on a Saturday night, be hungover on a Sunday morning, go play drums at church. That's how I got good, you know?
Yep.
Like, everybody wants to say you put in your 10,000 hours. It's just like, get hammered and then play, and then when you're sober, you'll be really good. Now, so I did that for a little bit, and then we got together and formed what was going to be called The Gentleman. One guy, The Gentleman, turned out being The Gentleman. It was going to be like a concept band or something. I don't know. When you smoke weed and come up with ideas, they're usually trash. Well, back then, you know. But so The Gentleman wound up being Cathedrals. And and Cathedrals was what kind of introduced me to the Baltimore music scene.
Gotcha.
And to Trey, and through that, you know, we became really good friends. Our guitar player, Chris, we all were like inseparable and loved playing. We were playing like Christian influenced metalcore.
Gotcha.
Metalcore, melodic hardcore,
melodic hardcore, yeah. And everybody loved it. We loved playing shows and shit like that, but there was some differences in the band at the time, and we wound up disbanding. They got a new drummer, and
that shit did not last long. I'm
yeah.
letting you guys know that right now. That shit probably like went like a year after, and let me tell you something. I tried to put like duct tape, Gorilla Glue. That shit was falling apart, boy.
It's like an abusive relationship.
Made the Titanic look bad, my nigga. Like it made the Titanic look bad, bro. It was falling apart, bro.
So then like we took a break from playing music for a while. Like I believe the both of us. I mean, Trey was maybe like filling in every once in a while for other projects and shit like that. And then what? You and Chris started playing riffs with each other or something? Or
I honestly, if I remember correctly, the way how this really started, like the Deep Breaths or whatever, we actually worked at a Jimmy John's together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, around like 2014, 2015. And around the beginning of 2016, we were like, yo, I miss playing music. I miss playing shows. And we were like, yeah, we should do that again. So literally it was just the three of us when we first started.
Right.
Like Chris said, it was literally just the three of us. The general concept was everybody do vocals. I wanted to like not really be like a Ed Gein style. If anybody had ever listened to Ed Gein, listen to Ed Gein. They're not a band no more. They like more like I want to say they were more like grindcore-ish or whatever, but they didn't have a designated vocalist.
Right.
Like they had like three members, everybody did vocals. And they were just ripping the shit. It was so fucking fire. And so that was the general concept. But I'm not gonna lie, we kind of got a little lazy. So I was the only one that was doing vocals. So it was me doing vocals and bass, him doing backups and drums, and Chris was doing guitar.
Yep. And then we did that for a while, and then we got Clay and Shannon after. No, I was gonna say we did a tour, but everybody was in the band at the time, right? And we just did that as a three.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I would say maybe it was like a year or so, and we decided that we wanted to have a bigger sound and involve more people. And Shannon was playing in a band.
That was right after Dead Gods.
Yeah, it was like right after Dead Guys broke up. Yeah. We were at a New Year's Eve party actually, and because like I knew of Shannon, but I didn't really know Shannon. And then he's like, "Yeah, man, I've been just trying to find a band to play with," and I was just like, "Are you down to play bass for a group?" And he's like, "I'd be down to play anything." So I literally looked at Paul. I was like, "Come here." I went up to Chris and I was like, "Come here." So we all went to him and I was like, "Yo, this is y'all know of Shannon," so like we formally introduced or whatever.
Gotta get initiated.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
And then I was just like, he's trying to look for a band. I could move up the front. He could go bass, or whatever. And we were like, cool. I'm sorry, Clay. I'm so sorry because my memory's a little foggy. I smoked too much. I don't remember if we got Clay before the promo release. I want to say it was just the four of us.
Of the little.
It was when Sanction came down the sidebar. It was us, Sanction, Queensway.
Year of the Knife.
I want to say it was Year of the Knife. Either they were supposed to play it and I think they dropped.
I
And you're talking about what demo?
The promo, the one with
the
dirt.
hand drawn?
No,
Oh no, you're talking about
the one with the
summer.
dirt.
That I learned,
Yeah.
like,
The summer. No, that Clay was on the summer EP.
Yeah, Clay was on the summer
He
EP.
was on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
he
yeah,
was in right before I got it,
Yeah.
but he was at every other show ish. Like he was like still kind of in and out.
word.
Oh yeah, because we were. No, that is right. Because he was doing that, and I was still playing bass, and then we got Shannon in, and then I became the front person.
Word.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we kind of just like avalanched through the hardcore scene and picked people up as bands fell apart.
Right. Yeah. As things tend to work.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then like it got down to the end of the hill, and Chris shit out off to the side, and we landed on Gabe.
Gotcha.
We had a situation I'm not going to dive deep into, and everything,
Yeah,
and then
it's all
Chris,
good.
he's doing good though.
Yeah,
Chris is
now.
doing good. He's fine. He's perfectly fine. He's sadly in the Midwest though.
I gotcha.
So I don't think I've seen him for like the past year and a half. We always play, me, him, and Squid play games all the time though online.
That's what's
So
up.
yeah,
Huge nerds.
Yeah,
They
huge
play video
nerds.
games all the time, dog. I love it. But
Like,
anyway, yeah. So,
yeah. But that happened, and then I was thinking, I was like, I want to hit up Gabe because I knew of Gabe, and I knew like I was like. Not trying to be that guy. I'll think about myself like I'm gonna take him from one round. Like that was literally my first intention. I was like, no offense. I was
come
just
to
like,
find out, this man was once drowned.
he really was. You talk your shit.
Talk your
Gabe.
shit, Sway.
Right. Talk your shit, Gabe.
I don't got shit to talk. I was in like a, I guess, metalcore band, something, trying to.
Baby the Gent band.
Yeah, like a metalcore gent kind of band, and we were trying to break our way sort of into the hardcore scene.
I got you.
And ironically, that band was starting to kind of slow down and fall apart at the same time that I had seen that Deep Rest needed a guitarist. So my fiance, Devin, she hit Trey up and was like, "So, see, you guys need a guitarist," and she plugged me in. And then I got together with Trey. We went to your house, I think, right?
It was late at night. It was like
midnight or something.
Yeah, it was like between 10 and midnight. And I'm not gonna lie, this is how we gonna get along. If you don't want to smoke, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. That's how I like to get acquainted with people. So I switched to concentrate because allergy season is fucking me up. It's fucking me up now.
Dab daddy.
Yeah, and I accidentally gave him my size dabs. My size dabs are not the normal size dabs that any other human being usually do on a normal basis.
Bob's here.
So he's stoned.
Flower, bro.
Yeah, and on top of that, he just smoked straight flower. So he's high as shit.
Been
I'm
there.
high as shit. And we're in my living room like 10, 12, between 10 at night and midnight. Just testing a song out. It just like what do you like to this, or like what if we do it like this or whatever. And we figured that out. And then we came to the practice spot and we got them together. It was like, all right, how do you guys feel about this, that, and the third? And
I'm not gonna lie to you. When like we first got Gabe and like everything switched over to like having an 8-string and the tuning isn't too crazy or anything, but usually when you get an 8-string guitar player, you're like, oh fuck, what the fuck are you about to do?
Whole bunch of
Right. And like, especially for the stuff we're trying to go down with, it's like, okay, we're not trying to do like crazy weird fast shit with like degenty fucking stupid shit going on, but I don't know, everything worked out really fucking well and it sounds pretty fucking cool actually.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too wasn't too long into it. I was like, okay, this actually will work really fucking well.
Yeah, it's fucking Beef City now.
Yeah, it's just like, oh fuck.
I want it to be a little different, I haven't seen a hardcore band with an 8-string before.
Yeah.
At least not to my knowledge.
I don't like. I mean, okay, if you talk about like hardcore, no, but like,
Everything's hardcore
Like-
these days.
dude, that's
Yeah.
facts. That's facts. Okay, hot take. I don't know who's just hot take
Go ahead.
because I saw this thing on Reddit, right? And they were just like, what band or hardcore album in quotations that is considered hardcore that is not hardcore to you. My personal opinion, the first album that comes to my mind is actually Sanction. Actually, believe it or not, like, and I'm not saying that like they're not part of the scene or anything like that or whatever, because they fucking rock. They slap. They were probably like one of the coolest bands that come out of NY in my opinion. But like.
Yeah,
when I actually like sit down like that full length,
I'm not trying to deal with that. I don't want you to go on my back.
Yeah, like, but
we gotta go up here to Long Island.
We just gotta go to Long Island.
I would like to clarify on behalf of Deep Breath that it's all love.
Right, it's all
Psych,
love.
you want that smoke?
But like that full length, that first full length that they put out, I don't think it was like it was like right after that EP, that Fragment of Something. Or whatever. After that, they did that a full length or whatever. That full length, I still listen to that full length to this day.
Right.
One of the coolest records and like riffs / breakdowns I ever heard in my life. That shit to me sounds like a deathcore album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a deathcore album. And
that's okay.
And that's fine.
No shade.
Right. There's no shade.
sounding.
It just sounds like a deathcore album to me. So like along with what he's saying, like as far as when it comes to hardcore and everything, I'm just like, what can we do to spice it up?
Yeah.
But like because like originally it was, let's take all of our influences and put it in a hardcore fashion and everything. Because at first it was just like, Chris is an old like metal rocker kind of guy. Like when I first met Chris, this nigga didn't listen to nothing but Anthrax, Metallica, Twisted Sister, like
Kiss.
His favorite band in the whole entire world is Kiss. Yep.
I got more than that, dude. I used to be a Kiss fan when I was a kid, man.
Yeah, so
That's funny
You
as
divide.
shit.
Yeah, but that's like
Yeah,
all
I made that in art class.
yeah. All our old shit, all our old riffs were like rips from like Black Sabbath and Kiss and stuff like that.
Because like if you low key kind of listen to like shit like Metallica and everything, tweak it a tiny bit.
Right,
It's
It's hardcore.
Yeah.
It's hardcore.
Breaking your neck to that
Yo.
shit. Like that's.
Go ahead.
What were you saying?
I was saying I talked about that with Succola because I think it's Blasphemy. Their song Blasphemy sounds just like the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath.
Nice.
We talked about that on their episode.
Yeah. That influence, man. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of our shit was just kind of like Trey was saying, like add some flavor to the old shit, make people break their necks to the shit. Can you fight to it? Can you whatever? And like let's just make music. You know, it's like we're not really trying to fit a mold or try to like, you know, like the message of hardcore is something that we believe in, and like what it's truly about. You know, like you know, but as far as music is concerned, we're just having fun, bro. Like we're getting stoned before the set. We're probably hitting pens on this stage.
Yeah.
So like, I was gonna say if we could, but I
Stays
think
on
we
me.
right exactly. And then
Yeah.
we're getting stoned after the set. It's you know, and fucking Trey sits on the edge of the stage like a uncancelable Bill Cosby.
Half hardcore show, half like TED Talk.
Yeah, we sit
Yeah.
like literally like our shows are like you could have like a candle lit in the corner and it's just like an intimate night with deep rest. Like that's how that's our vibe, and then it's just like punch your grandmother music, you know. So
Yeah.
You even mentioned that you like the smaller shows because at the last Auto Bar show wasn't too many people there, but it was still like a nice event and people got down, which is cool.
Yeah.
I kind of tend to agree with that lately.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it's COVID or whatnot, but I think maybe just getting older, you just tend to like not like the big packed crowds as much. You know.
I actually saw a take today that I didn't really take in consideration, and that's actually like the recession or like the inflammation that's happening to us right now in this country.
Right.
And I didn't
afford to come out the show.
Dude,
Right.
That show the other night was like $20. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Since when is...
Yeah. And like, which like,
for a
at
Thursday night
some
out?
extent, like it's like all right, cool, but like a lot of us are still getting paid the same, if not maybe a tad bit more since the pandemic. So like I am lucky enough to where like I'm making decent enough to where I can do Auto Bar. I picked up a security at Auto Bar. Shout out to Auto Bar. I love that place.
Hell
I was gonna bring up your staff hoodie.
Yeah.
Yo, one of the last few places, like it's getting scary, you know, like not only with, you know,
Ups and down and shit.
yeah, like with everything that Trey was saying, but venues like in Baltimore, we're running out of places. Like Sidebar is questionable. There's still no real word on what's going on with Sidebar.
They have to fix mold issues.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was down the whole time during COVID. You know, like the only places that we've been able to play recently has been like the Shamrock, and then like if you get a soundstage show.
Yeah. We haven't got our chance to get our foot in for Holies as of yet, but then again, if I remember correctly, for Holies is not doing no more shows anymore.
Right, so R.I.P. Free Holies.
Yeah.
Bro doesn't do hardcore shows like that.
Yeah. I mean, like they do in a sense, but like it's like, in my opinion, maybe because I just don't know. I'm not like in on the money because I'm still trying to like network. I'm trying to get better because like
hit us up if you know more places. Hit us
if you know more places, if you want to like to come out and everything, just let us know and everything because like. We wanted to get out. It's not like we want to get out and stay out of Baltimore or whatever. But like, we've been a band for 6 years now. You know, like I want to take more chances.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I've been talking to that's been playing or whatever don't mind us like try to help us help out and like come up. Play a show.
We want to play them cool house shows, man. We want to play in somebody's basement. We want to play like
if you're
I'm trying to
in
play
a garage. I want to play.
Literally shout out to this place called The Garage in Westminster.
Yeah.
It's a new spot. They got a show
okay.
tonight. I was telling
Yeah.
you.
You was a little bit
Bedroom
about that.
floor, Mine, Goblin, Granite State,
Granite
Elsewhere.
Granite State.
And Sunny Mondays.
Shout out to GS.
Yeah.
Shout out to both GSs, Gradual Slipper and Gradual State.
But I agree. Yeah, I mean, we
I said
definitely do have
Gradual
a
State
lack of
and
venues.
Granite State.
Yeah, but it's okay.
I mean, like if we
Y'all
could do
both
our
the
thing.
same band to me.
Gradual State.
Granite slip.
Granite.
Yo, and when that shit's wet, you better watch the fuck out.
You better watch
Granite
out.
slip.
Yeah.
But shit, I completely forgot what I was.
We were
saying.
just talking about like the lack of venues and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we haven't, established ourselves in Baltimore, but like coming out of the pandemic, it's like we want to make a good round trip around the city, and then like fucking, we got to show up in New York and stuff like that, and we're working on some new stuff right now that we want to get out. We just want to get people hyped, and to also know that like the city is still operating. Like, that's another thing too. Like I worry about this new generation, like coming out to hardcore shows. Like, are they listening? Like, or
it's getting like I've brought this up like on multiple episodes, but it's like, dude, my generation and like younger men, like it's getting less and less of us that are listening to that type of music, to even listening to like rock music and stuff like that. It's just getting to be further of us to where it's like eventually kids aren't even gonna know who the fuck Pink Floyd is, and it's gonna be like. What the hell?
Just T-shirt.
I mean,
graphic.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I feel like the world tries to bless the metal community a little bit, right? With shit like Stranger Things and sucking Metallica's dick a little bit more than they need. But because everybody's always gonna know Metallica.
Yeah.
But as far as like,
Thor movie was half Guns N' Roses the whole time.
was it really?
Yeah.
Who fucking cares about Guns N' Roses anymore? Like,
right? Like they're showing them the wrong rock.
Right?
Like
if
play Lamb. If you're gonna play a throwback, play Lamb of God on like.
Or even just find somebody who's released music in the past 5 years. Who's like recent and still could use the money and still could use the support from the crowd. Like all these guys have already blown up, and sure, maybe they're not millionaires, but like Lamb of God, they're chilling. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Metallica is chilling. Guns N' Roses is chilling and on drugs, but like chilling.
I don't know if you can consider that chilling. They're tweaking, but they're doing good. Yeah, like
Their version of chilling.
Also, shout out to all the bands, whether you're big or small, that helps other bands and like take them out to tours and everything and stuff like that. That's a lot of the tours I've been seeing. Like they're not necessarily like mixed tours, but they are like hardcore adjacent kind of tours. Yeah. Like I remember seeing that what was it? It was like Knock Loose, Koyo, Kublai Khan, and I think maybe like Foreign Hands. That's like 4 different type of like hardcore differently, basically.
Koyo with the crowd kill mosh calls. That was like what?
Yeah.
I actually went to the I think it was a Soundstage.
Yeah, I think that was
there recently.
I didn't go to that show. I think I stayed home. Because the next day I was gonna go to the World Peace Backslide show and everything. That shit ripped. Look, this is all I'm saying. More Power of Violence. Please start another Power of Violence band.
Hell
At
yeah.
least start one with me. Start one with me. I need some I need HM2s in my life. Please.
Trace has spoken.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like fourth band in the works.
So, how did the name Deep Rest come about? Was it just
That was all Squid.
Yo, you ever just get high and have an idea?
pretty
That's
much?
it. That's it.
I gotcha.
So like it's just tongue in cheek for like depressed.
I have a note about that because, just saying it to other people, when I would like tell a friend about it, I'd go, yeah, there's this band Deep Rest, and then I'm like, wait, it's not depressed, it's
Right.
Deep Rest,
Yeah.
So, interesting.
It's kind of funny how many times I would tell somebody his band, and like I'm kind of soft spoken ish. Unless I'm like getting really passionate or like around my friends.
Me too.
Not saying that like I'm just a really relaxed person,
You're very
especially
soft
when I'm high. Especially when I'm high, bro. I'm in that
yeah.
couch, my G.
Yeah, there's no force coming out of
Right,
it.
this is the fourth. And my ex used to get mad. She was like, "You know I'm deaf. I need you to speak up." I'm just,
You need to come closer.
and I'm just over here like, babe, I'm sorry. I'm just so relaxed right now. Like,
Yeah, nah, I feel you.
yeah.
Just grab her by the ear.
But yeah, dude, it's just crazy.
So the first show that I found, correct me if I'm wrong, it was October 12th, 2016 at the Depot.
Yeah, that was Turncoat.
Could have been. It was our first show.
Yeah, Turncoat. Well, it was one of the. I guess in our eyes, it was like one of the big shows. Even though I don't think that many people that knows Turncoat or listens to Turncoat, but Turncoat was a hardcore band out of Detroit, and they were pretty cool. Austin Torch, shout out to the OG, was starting the Free State Collective thing, and it was helping bringing that out. Like him, Ashley Ducote, and everything. There's other people going in and out of it now. I think they've like pressed and stuff along and stuff like that. Things happen in between. So, but that was one of the shows that they put us like on and everything, and that was probably my personal opinion, one of my favorite shows that to this day that we still played. I remember when we played 42 off of the EP,
Yep.
and Jake doesn't straight like sidekick the mic away from me.
Shout out.
I think
Episode 1.
yeah, it was just like, because I was like, two-step that shit up. And this is when I was still playing bass. And I jumped in the air, and I started two-step, and next thing I know, I just see Jake. It was like, yeah. I wish that place would, like, kind of mend things with the hardcore community.
Yeah.
And everything, because like that would definitely be like a cool small spot to do. And like the business there, if you actually do it and you got people out to that particular venue, is actually pretty good and everything. And like in my opinion, helps with like a lot of smaller bands. Probably not will do like that much difference now because how things are right now, but like at the time it was
Depot
really
was doing-
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
Depot
it
was
was really
helping.
good for like smaller bands, especially if you need like something to
There's somewhere to play.
somewhere to play,
Yeah.
get a little bit more money out of your pocket. I mean, put a little bit more money in your pocket. So
And it was a decent spot too.
yeah, it was a decent
Like,
spot.
It
Like,
wasn't really like your average shitty bar to play in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and then you got like a little spot to dance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's small enough to where like you can like crash into people, but people will still be safe.
Good,
And
yeah.
yeah. So
But them mirror walls though.
yo, I forgot whatever Allentown band did it, but I would never forget us being at the Depot. We played the Depot this night, and this guy was just like rocking and swinging the mic, and it escaped
God.
his hand, and it shot up and broke one of the mirrors and everything. The Greg, the sound guy, was out smoking. He came back in. He came back in, saw it, got immediately pissed, shut the whole mixer down. I was like, this show's gone.
Damn.
It was the
Yeah.
last band too. And
Fuck out.
he was talking about bad shit. They were like packing up, like not trying to say shit and everything. He was like, "You guys were great." That dick watch from Allentown. I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I feel like hardcore and rap are some of the like contenders for the most shows getting ended quickest.
yeah,
For just shit like
Absolutely.
that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, crowds get rowdy, man.
Yeah.
That shit.
So how did everybody feel going into that first show?
I think it was more like like for me at least, like, because I haven't played in a few, and then on top of that, my vocal style changed. My vocal style probably changed like probably 3 times my whole entire life. Because like when I was growing up, I was listening to, I used to hate them, but now they're my favorite band in the whole entire world. I was listening to BT Bam. I was listening to like Whitechapel, Necrophagus in like 7th, 8th grade. So I'm doing like gutturals, pig squeals, and all this other
Yes,
shit.
sir.
But my problem was is that I could do it, but I couldn't project it to where like it's a presence and like it doesn't sound like weak or some shit. I'm not trying to be like that guy.
Yeah.
So when we did the whole vocal thing, at that particular time, it was more of like a tough guy, grit your teeth
Yeah.
kind of vocal style.
Yeah, didn't
And
you cover Recreant by Chelsea Grin at a show?
oh, dude, we always joke and tease things like that. And we never do actual like covers besides the one cover of System of a Down.
Right.
I've been trying to do "The Color of Money" by Bury Your Dead. I've been trying to get them to do. Right, they're trying to get them to do. What's it, Zeitgeist, right? Yeah, Zeitgeist by from a Centenary and everything. I know they still play from time to time, but like, bro, that record came out in 2009. It's time to play for some other people. Like,
Yeah, right.
You guys only play big festivals, and mind you, Incendiary is like top 5 my all-time favorite hardcore band. Like, don't get it twisted. But these motherfuckers, I feel like they're at a point in their lives now where it's festivals and big shows. Yeah. I was surprised they had that one off with End It. Shout out to End It and all my niggas in End It.
Omar coming.
Yep, Omar coming. Yes, sir. If you haven't checked that record out, you should definitely check that record out. It's probably one of the best records that especially came out of Baltimore. Check out all the Baltimore bands, honestly. Job Bomb, Hostage Crisis is coming out with a new demo. I saw this band last night at Road. Holy shit, dude. I after the set, because I know these guys for like a long time. They used to play in like a black metal band and like some other like metalcore shit or whatever. And they kind of like fuse or whatever. I went to them after the set. I was like, yo, I love y'all, and I'm not trying to suck y'all dick right now, but that was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait until people hear this fucking EP or whatever the fuck they're going to put out. That shit was heavy. That shit was fierce, and it was just like, it's another band I'm going to fight my mom to. Hands down. Hands down. I'm going to lose, but I'm going to fight my mom to that EP, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. To go back to your question, we've been playing before. I mean, for Trey, it was a big step for doing vocals and playing bass and shit at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But we had played in cathedrals and shit, and I thought we had a pretty tight set coming back. I was super excited to just get back into the scene and play for everybody, and the response was, I mean, to this day, we're still blown away that like we got lucky enough to like come out when we did for everybody to fuck with us and shit. And like, cause we're the homies, I think we're just chill with a lot of people and we kind of keep a certain vibe. It may have helped a little bit, but yeah, I knew the shit slapped and I was like, I want to see other people fight to this shit.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what happened. And that's what's kept us going. So yeah, I mean, every show is a little nerve wracking. I mean, you're always worried you're going to eat a bag of dicks. I fuck up at least twice a night, but nobody knows. I tell everybody, it's hardcore. You don't know.
Yeah, it's like, if you're gonna make a mistake, make it big, is what they say.
Yeah. Or play into it. Yeah.
Don't make it a big deal.
Yeah.
I talked about that with someone else too.
If you stop playing, especially as a drummer, if you stop playing, well, your whole set's over. You might as well just get off the stage. Rip. Gabe's got a story about that.
Is it story time?
Yeah,
Pat time?
If you're gonna ask us questions about the past, dude, we're the type of motherfuckers that like forget what we have for breakfast. Like we got stories and shit, but there was a lot of like smoking and drinking and doing silly shit that like. So I just hope we can answer everything because you were like, "How did you feel?" And I was like, "How did I feel at that show?" It's like real, we kind of
answer as best you can.
Retrospective, just like.
So first, I'm gonna ask because for the next little bit, we're just gonna be talking about like some of the lyrics that I picked out of most of these songs and stuff like that. And so, who's in charge of writing the lyrics?
When we did the EP,
Not me.
when we did, yeah, that's true. The first demo we put out was me.
Okay.
The EP was a collaborative effort in a sense, I want to say. Yeah, definitely a collaborative instance.
That summer EP?
Yeah, the one that has 42.
Oh, the brown paper bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that album art was sick, but if you look at it from far away, it just looks like a wet brown paper bag. But yeah, I would say Trey writes 85%, and every once in a while I'm like, hey yo,
Yeah.
I got an idea.
I've been asking these people too, like, I was like, yo, if you have anything to talk about, or if anything you guys want to talk about, or you have an idea, just send them to me and let me know, so that I can work on it. I'm always playing music and listening to our pre-pros and stuff like that. I'm always like thinking of new music stuff, whether it's lyrics or music.
So it's a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just start naming songs and the lyrics that I picked out, and if it was a collaborative effort, chime in where you guys feel like. If you just have something on the what the song's about, because I want everybody to feel like they're involved in this.
Right.
So we're gonna talk about the demo now. Proud. The lyrics I picked out, there's no greater fight than feeling less than a burden. Now, is this about a relationship, or is it about like a figure, like a parent?
This was I always dedicated this song to my mom, because I always feel like at that point in time there was a lot of going on, like within like my life, our side family wise. I just moved back then with my parents, and I really was feeling like less of myself. Like, I didn't really feel like there was no point, but the biggest thing that kind of broke my heart was like feeling like that towards my mother. Because like my mom, I didn't realize how like shout out to all the moms that really do this shit, because like my mom is probably one of the most incredible souls that ever blessed my life, despite her being my mother. But like, because like I didn't know that, because when I moved into Dundalk, we moved to the single home and everything. Rent in that single home, it was a 4-bedroom single home, 2.5-acre backyard. My brother just got out the military, moved back up to Maryland. He has 4 kids. So it's me, my sister-in-law, the 4 kids, my uncle. We had like 12 niggas in the house.
Right.
Rent is $1,800 stress rent, and that was like 20. This had to have been about like 2010, 2011 when this happened. And on top of like BG&E, that was like 5-6. Like, she drained her whole entire accounts.
Right.
People are like trying to get on disability. Things were tight, and I didn't realize like the amount of sacrifice and the things that she do. Like, even when I was younger and my dad had drug problems or whatever, our house got raided.
Damn.
And everything. And then literally the week after, it's like I'm in a new place, a whole new environment. And I'm just like, all right, whatever, because I'm a kid. I don't know any better.
Yeah.
But like looking back and everything, and then I try to see what I could do for her. Because like she did all this shit. Whether it's for me, whether it's for the family, whatever. She was like the glue. And like me at that time, I was like, I cannot do this to her. Of all people that I could do this to, I cannot do that to her. And that's what that song was about. For me, at least.
Gotcha, man.
Yeah.
I think we all feel that way in a sense. We feel like our mothers are the best out there.
Right,
you know
exactly,
what I mean?
yeah.
I can sort of relate to some of the stuff you were saying about how they are the glue and everything like that, especially when people in the family are struggling with certain issues and things like that.
Yeah, she took a lot of situations, honestly, that in retrospect, if it was like in my hands, I would have not have done myself.
Right, yeah, it's just
at all.
It's like being a mother is stressful enough. Like, having all those kids to deal with and having a bunch of mouths to feed and working and shit and all that, and then on top of it, you got all this extra shit to deal with, like just you as a person. So yeah, the mothers who are fucking in there with their kids and with their family and making shit work and not fucking tossing them off to grandma and going out and doing their own thing because they want to, like shout out to you for making a difference.
Up.
Straight up, like That's facts, yo.
Especially because, like you said, when you're younger, you don't really realize that stuff.
Yeah,
you don't know
really
that your mom has a life like that.
But it sticks with you, and you definitely realize it when you get older. For sure.
Yep.
All right, and then we got pissing contest. Now, in my last episode with Sam, it hasn't come out yet, Spaceman Sam. He was talking more so in like a spirituality sense, but he was just talking about how like fake gurus and how they can be misleading and stuff like that. And I thought about that because the lyrics, you wear the clothes, you play the part, but you're the ugliest piece of art. Yeah. So I wanted you to kind of explain that.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
And let me tell you something. It ain't really that deep because it was just an ad lib.
It's totally random.
But no. I'm sorry. I'm kind of taking credit away from Trey too, because there's a part where it's like, you wear the clothes, you need control, you play the part, you're black in heart, still you're the ugliest piece of art. It's like, just people being around you for the wrong reasons, people taking advantage of you, people acting bigger than you, trying to like...
Especially around the scene at that time.
Yeah.
There was like,
a lot of neck stepping. Like,
it wasn't like, okay, these are my friends and this is what I'm comfortable. Like, I'm not saying it's not that now, but like it was like super cliquey. Like I'm talking about like it was rare for somebody in a certain group to mingle with multiple groups.
Yeah. Right.
Like
there'd be like little pockets of like 6 or 7 people at shows, you know, and then like
and they would never talk to nobody else. They were always saying in a little circle. And
God forbid you know somebody from the other circle and go talk to them for 2 seconds and then leave that circle, and then it's like the whole conversation is about you being over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I imagine that, you know, if it's all clicky, you know, if you do mingle with other cliques, then that's a problem now.
Yeah. A lot of random beefs starting up for no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah. I know. That's it. I'm not speaking on nobody else's beef. I don't got no beef.
The mic like it's like in his mouth. Let me tell you about the beef. Let me tell you about some shit I saw the other day. The motherfucker.
Yeah, no, but it was it got to a point where, you know, like people are like dragging people on Twitter and people are like saying shit on Instagram and like trying to like pull people's name in the dirt and shit like off of like just like preconceived notions and just like bullshit or like hearsay. It's like, you know,
high school shit.
Yeah. Do it on the internet shit. Like, bro, like I thought this was hardcore. I thought it was settle your differences in the pit, motherfucker. Fight me if you got a problem, or talk about it in the parking lot after the show, or like how I like to do it, pull somebody aside.
Yeah,
you know, there's no problem in a man-to-man conversation because you shouldn't be doing it as a performance for whoever else is around you. 2 things: if you have a problem with somebody, nobody else should be involved, like if you actually,
and that's on God.
Yeah, if you actually want to fix it,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if you actually want to fix it, go handle your shit. Go talk to the person. That's it. That's all you got to do. Because a lot of the times, there might be shit that gets said like in like being funny or like being serious, but everybody was like joking and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, or like internet stuff that motherfuckers could just, you know. I hate texting because you can't get the emotion that somebody actually had when they said what they said.
Yeah.
And like because you're on social media, you're close, but you're at a distance. You don't know what they're going through in their life. So like, or what they're going through in their life. So, you know, it's you know, if you got a problem, just say something. Don't just run with shit and like blast people on the internet and fucking the whole. That I think this song was written at like the height of cancel culture and just like trying to. Just have, like, you're a white kid in the suburbs with no opinion. Why are you trying to fucking fight and argue? Like, have a real struggle. Like
your problems aren't big enough.
Right.
Have a real struggle. Like, but, you know, and not to discredit anything either, because there was a lot of silly shit that needed to be taken care of too, you know, and, through talking about it, regardless of what it is the only way. Like, I don't think yelling, like, you can't put a fire out with more fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, some people also have to learn, like, when things get confrontational, not to, like, buck at people, you know what I mean? Because, like, I've been in situations where, like, you call someone out and then they immediately just start getting all agitated and confrontational, and they don't know how to handle, like, some people need to learn how to handle judgment, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's, well, and that's the whole thing for me. It's like, you know, we play shows to have fun. We go out
to see shows to have fun. We don't go out for drama. It's not like oh, at this show I'm gonna say something to you. It's like, no, that's some clown shit, dog.
You're supposed to leave it at home.
Yeah, leave it at home, or like I said, just talk to the person. Like literally use your words. We are all adults. It is 2022. Everybody's respected for their pronouns, their sexuality, their race, their and that's. A lot of people are like, oh, that's all fucked up. No, they don't. Blah blah blah. But the people who actually get it do.
Yeah.
Like the people who practice that shit, it does. Life is okay if you stop being mad about fucking life. Everybody who's got it has it, and it's just, I think that's like something that we try to stress too. Is like, we're all struggling, but we're all doing it together. We all have each other's backs.
Everybody's out here doing the same shit you are. You have the same problems we do.
Right. And
if not worse.
And it
right,
takes
exactly.
and it takes away from the foundational hardcore of us all coming together and being glue for a structure that's like falling apart. It's like, yo, we gotta put this shit back together. And if we're arguing and fighting and bitching with each other, like it's gonna die. Yeah. You're gonna lose what you love because you want me to lose what I love. So it's like, we need to work together. And just stop being so cliquey. Don't like hang out with everybody. Invite people over for dinner.
That's why, and that's also, I'm not saying that because like I know other people have their clits or they're just comfortable or whatever, but that's why I also say like, yo, find somebody that's not your skin color or your culture and become friends with them. Because not only that's going to show you what they seem as disrespect. Even though you might not see it as disrespect, you got to kind of understand the certain, like, extent. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying because I work at a warehouse with a lot of different races and stuff like that. It's just some of the things that they do doesn't quite make sense to a lot of people, and some people act like very judgmental, you know what I mean? And it's like some people just don't understand, like, their cultural practices are different over where they're from, so it's like they don't understand that what they're doing isn't like, it might be a little disrespectful, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of funny. A lot of them,
culture shock is real, dog.
Yeah, a lot of them, like, stare a lot, you know what I mean? Which,
yes, bro.
And I explain to people, it's like, over in America, I feel like we are taught at a young age, you're caught staring, your parents are like, stop staring, that shit's rude. And,
rude as hell.
A lot of like foreigners will come over and do that, and they don't have that in their culture. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I had to get accustomed to, and I had to like sit back and think like, all right, I can't get agitated at something like this, you know what I mean? Just because it makes me uncomfortable. It's like,
I don't get agitated, I get uncomfortable. We had Syrian refugees living next door to us maybe like 3-4 years ago for a couple of months. And like when we used to do yard work, the children would just sit at the window just it's crazy.
Yeah, you don't know what they've seen. You don't know what they've been through. You just wave and keep going. Like, it's okay.
They stare into your soul.
Right? Yeah.
They really do.
But
when I wave and everything, sometimes they wave back. But like when they don't do anything, that's when I feel really uncomfortable.
Don't look at me.
Then it just takes talking to some people and getting to know them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was talking to this younger guy at my work, and he was explaining to me how he was really there because his parents didn't speak English well, and that was the reason why he was at the job. And it just made me think, like, damn, you know what I mean? That's the whole reason he's here. I'm here because I just need money, you know what I mean?
Right.
He's here because his parents don't speak good English, and it just, gave me a bigger perspective. It's like you said, we do need to, like, branch out to other races, and because it gives your ideas more broad.
And we all as humans have bigger shit to deal with. Like the shit that they're doing with women's rights is fucking crazy right now. Like, we should be focusing on how to fix problems instead of making more problems out of shit like that. You know? Yeah. It's like we're bitching and fighting about what option is the right option to fix the issue. It's like, let's do them both and see what works. Like, I don't know, like, just do something. Like, I
agree.
Yeah, so that's I guess that's what that song was about.
So now we'll talk about the self-titled album you did. So is it Gehenna? Is that how you pronounce it?
Gehenna, yeah.
So for people who don't know, that means a place of state or misery. It's the name of a world in which demons live in the manga Blue Exorcist,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also just a common reference in like the
Fucking
Bible
nerd.
for hell. Now, did that
Weed Nation for life. Don't hate.
did that title come just from like the general definition, or was it a Blue Exorcist kind of thing?
Blue Exorcist was like part 2, but if I really want to, to be completely honest with you,
Yeah, this isn't fan service. We're not trying to like.
there's a
We're not trying to win brownie points for being.
there's
a
a
nerd.
guy named Andrew that plays for a hardcore New York band called Combust. He had a side project, and oh my god, I cannot remember the name of the side project, but he had a song called Gehenna,
Okay.
and it was probably it's hands down still probably one of my favorite hardcore songs ever, because like I don't hear that many like in your face stuff that where like you would hear like a blast beat, and literally all it was just like bam dum 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 dum, and he's just just blasting away, and I'm just like, yo, this shit is fucking yo. I remember the first time I heard that at Sidebar, blew my fucking brains out the back of my head, yo. That shit was insane, and that was the main inspiration of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and the lyric I chose was "We are the apex that's killing ourselves." Now, in what different ways do you think that we're as a species, I guess, committing self-genocide? There's like the environmental aspect, and then there's also like
Yup.
the social aspect of like
Yup.
you know, how gangs do each other, war,
Message.
shit like that. Yeah,
Yup, it's all like like us as humans, like bro, you got to think about it. Like
made to do.
coronavirus, for a perfect example, is just a virus that wants to live. It doesn't want to kill you. It
Yeah.
wants you to survive with it because it wants to live as long as possible. Humans, and this is going to sound like a super weird, fucked up kind of way of looking at it, but it's like us as humans are like a virus. We don't want the earth to die, but for us to survive, we have to take resources from the earth, you know? So it's like it's kind of in our nature to use until there is no more, to take and be selfish.
overindulge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta have a balance. You know, I think part of consciousness is to fight back from those tendencies of just consuming. You know, it's like knowing what's right, being able to provide for everybody rather than yourself. You know, if everybody has one, needing more isn't really a thing. Like, it's the overabundance and the haves and the have-nots. It's like, I think that's a big issue, you know, with climate change and resources, and we're taking shit out that we can't put back.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like,
but I feel like it's also kind of part of our, like, part of just being human to figure out ways around it too. 'Cause,
Right, yeah.
we've been talking about global warming and shit since like the 50s and shit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
it's been a brick, and we got solar power, we got Teslas and shit now, we got that fake little boat that goes around the harbor.
oh, trash mouth. Trash mouth.
It's cool because we get stuff to like work around the issues because we know all we do is consume.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and what's shitty is like that we know that we do, and like we still don't do anything about it. It's
No, we
like,
just find ways to keep doing it.
yeah, we find ways to keep it. Yeah, exactly. And
Push it off.
right, and,
Go to space, find another
and
planet.
naturally, like, I don't know. I think we're all kind of on the same page where it's like we all believe that there's multiple factors contributing to what we're dealing with right now, and it's like we all have to start at the same time, really, to fucking curb whatever it is,
Yeah.
whether it be a social thing, whether it be an economics thing, whether it be a climate thing or whatever. Like, we all got to do something now.
Yep.
But like like Gabe said, since the 50s we've known about this shit. Like, yeah, naturally the planet's gonna get a little bit hotter. Naturally, shit's gonna happen. Like civilizations have only lasted for a certain period of time, and eventually, like, I think there's a harsh reality that, like, we may face something like that. And I think all the smart people that are in charge, that have the money, that do the things, are trying to find ways to keep us alive through that. But I think Mother Nature's going to do what Mother Nature's going to do.
Yep.
And as far as us getting along, like, that's on us.
Yeah.
Like,
No doubt.
like, just be a better person, do better shit.
I think we need to learn how to give back more instead. Well, it's like I think we always are going to be taking. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
we have
sure.
to. That's the
But
inevitability.
I think if we can start giving back as much as we take, or just supplementing what we take, that's probably best way to start. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought this up with my dad, but it's like I follow a page that talks about vintage clothes and stuff like that, and they talk about just like how many new clothes get made every year,
right.
and we probably have enough clothes to clothe all the people on here in Mars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. But then you got to get everybody's mind off of money.
Yeah.
Everything only progresses as much as it gets you paid.
Because everybody only worries about the bottom dollar.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, think about how many cures we could probably have now if medicine wasn't a market.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole discussion on its own.
Yeah.
Man.
Like the
Yeah, the whole Martin Shkreli thing, where like motherfuckers were just selling shit for like way ridiculous prices and stuff. Like I don't know if you've ever seen how much like an EpiPen was. Yeah, ridiculous, like hundreds of dollars.
Really?
Quadrupled the cost or something.
Yeah. And I don't know if that was what it was or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, there's been a few things where like the bottom, the dollar, the game that was set up like.
Look at cancer.
Yeah, right, exactly. The game that was set up to be played was rigged to be against us. And I mean, and now I feel like I'm Zach from Rage Against the Machine up here being like, the deciders have decided what you want. Like, but it's true. Like,
yeah, we're going to talk about that a little later in another sense, but keep going.
Yeah. No, so I think consciousness on just like, what you're consuming and what you're doing and like your footprint, like, and everything you do is just like, clean up after yourself, be nice, be kind, like.
Absolutely.
Or you wind up in Gehenna. Like like hell is a place that you can go, and it's up to you. Like, we're all sorcerers, bro. We can conjure anything, and it be our reality.
Yeah,
you speaking J. Cole lines
right now. Yeah, your words.
Bars. Drop a beat, dog. I'm ready to go.
Now your words do have power, though, man. There's a lot of people that talk about that. People that say like. I feel like we have a lot of negative things that we tend to say casually, and there's people out there that go, don't even play around like that, dude, because your words have power. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I love comedy, but it's got to be like there's a very fine line, or like the understanding of what you're joking about and what you're being serious about. And I think a lot of things today, people get super sensitive about like what you're talking about, because they just ignore that. It's like self-deprecation and looking at things is like, you want to be careful, you can manifest shit, but also it's a good coping mechanism for bringing shit to light too.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it works either way.
Finding the beauty and the pain and shit and being able to talk about stuff openly, that's what I miss. I think a good thing for a lot of people to do is sit in the darkness to realize how dark it actually is. And realize that it's up to us to be the light in everything that we do.
Yeah.
Because it could get way darker.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like people aren't necessarily more sensitive these days, though. It's just more, like, known. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't more assholes than they used to be. We just see them more because we got the internet.
I think like a popular topic.
Yeah. Like, and, I mean, before, we didn't necessarily know how to deal with feelings, I feel like.
I've been emotional my whole life.
No, I'm saying like as people though. You know what I mean? Like as a whole.
Yeah, well, and I think it's it's generational.
I'm about to say, are you talking about like shit? You talk about like a society?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Because I mean, remember in 2014 when it was finally okay for men to cry? That was like a whole social media thing.
See, and that's weird because it's like, I feel like we all have similarities on how we grew up and shit like that. But like, I saw my dad cry when I was 3, and I knew from then, like, I was like I didn't have my dad in the house when I was a kid, but it was just like it was very open for me to be like, dude, be you, like say from both of my parents really, but just like seeing my dad kind of be a quick to think, slow to react, slow to, get angry. At least with me, I know, things changed and there were differences in how kids were raised in my family as far as generations were concerned. But I was the last one. I got older parents, so they were kind of chill, and it definitely gave me an ability to be kind of in touch with like feelings and shit, and like to have friends like me and Trey.
like I call Trey in the morning at 9:30. Like every morning I wake up, I'm talking to him, and we're thinking about ideas. We're talking about how we felt about this shit, about that shit, about you see this shit on the news or whatever. We're just yucking it up, fucking packing people and shit. But like having a group that you can be emotionally available with and like be honest and open, it really does help. And talking about all this shit, good or bad. I think that's really where all of the positivity and the work comes from. Is just like setting a good foundation and hearing everybody out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be an open table for sure.
Yeah.
And especially like judgment free for that and everything. Especially like it doesn't even matter like what topic it is. It could be race or whatever, for certain.
Yeah.
And because like if you can't ask like a question without someone's feelings getting up there, when it's a genuine question, those are the people that you shouldn't talk to.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to find somebody else who's going to sit you down and be like the whole Nick Cannon thing. I forgot what he said, but he said some anti-Semitic thing or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
And like people were like getting on him or something like that, and then apparently like one of his Jewish friends or whatever, like instead of like judging him or whatever, it'd be like, oh, he's anti-Semitic, blah, 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 actually sat him down and had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that's, when you have those conversations, that's how you grow.
Yeah. Everybody's, you only know what you know. You're ignorant to everything else.
Yeah.
You gotta be taught, and you have to have somebody open to listen, and you have to have somebody open to teach in a way that's
in a non-biased like fashion too.
Yeah. You have to be responsible with that with that power,
Yeah.
Like I feel like telling the truth and lying is like stealing. If you have information that I need or information that I should have and you don't give it to me, it's like it's stealing. Don't steal from your fellow man. You want everybody to succeed.
Stealing potential.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We could all be in a better place if we just kept it real.
Yeah.
Each other too.
Yeah, learn, share, fucking
collaborate.
Yeah.
Okay, so 42, the song is about living with depression, from what I gathered. It's more than you think, it's more than I think. Is it the disease or is it me? And then a repeating line was, things will never change. So that was kind of like the main part of the song. Things will never change. Do you guys want to talk about that?
I think it's just like the end point, because like in my opinion, like even like nowadays, it's like it's not the fact that I don't quite feel depressed, or I guess like it's not the same type of depression as I'm dealing with beforehand.
Yeah.
But it's more of like a looming kind of cloud. Like it's a type of energy, and it's not necessarily like I'm having a bad day, things are not looking up, or like anything to that nature. It's just sometimes like when you like when you sit there, 'cause I do a lot of self-reflection, sober or high. I do a lot of self-reflection. And
it's important. Sometimes,
like, because like it actually kind of ties with that line you were talking about, Gehenna, and it actually ties in the topic of a new song we're doing. You go to a very dark place when you hit reality, a very, very, very dark place, and it takes a lot of you to, like, actually be a good person. I forgot the quote that Jordan Peterson said from some other guy, but it says like the first step to enlightenment is encountering your shadow. You don't know what I'm capable of. I don't know what he's capable of. But the fact that there's like a baseline and there's an understanding, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes us good. That's what makes us like more of a better being compared to, I guess, like somebody else who doesn't.
Okay.
In a sense. So it kind of like ties in like to that nature, but like as far as like depression wise and everything, it just feels like that type of energy never leaves. It's a constant. Some people could brush the stress off, some people can't. Some people could brush the anxiety off, some people can't. Some people, like my aunt, I don't remember the last time she went out the door and everything. She suffers like extreme like insomnia or anxiety or something like that.
I think
she
it's the agoraphobia or something like that.
Yeah, and like she lives in Alaska and don't go outside.
Right.
Like so I'm just like
it's cold. I don't feel like putting on 5 jackets every time I want to go outside.
Exactly.
Best excuse.
Yeah. But it's like around that, yeah.
I gotcha. And A Mother's Nature, I didn't have a lyric, but it's just about loved ones getting older, it seemed, and like the sense of unsureness that comes with like the possibility of losing a loved one.
Yeah, so this one was actually one that I wrote most of. And what's really creepy, this and another song that we did in Cathedrals, it was called, what was it, 1993?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1993 from Cathedrals and A Mother's Nature from Deep Rest were both songs about relationships with our mothers.
Mm-hmm.
And the inevitability of losing your parent. Mm-hmm. You know, I grew up raised by just my mother. My parents split when I was about 3 or 4. She raised me on her own. And then when I was about like 10 or whatever, my dad lived in Colorado. It's funny that you said you were from Colorado because I spent half of my time in Grand Junction.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where my cousin Royce stays now.
Word. Hell yeah, dude. Grand Junction's a beautiful place. It looks like fucking Mars out there. Just like red dirt and red mountains and shit. And there's like jagged shit. Yeah. So, but, you know, you don't really take a lot of time to appreciate all the good things that are happening when you're in the middle of all of it, you know. And then when you have something bad happen, you go into that, and then when you come out of that, what brings you out of that, I should say, is realizing all of the good shit that saved you from way worse stuff. And a lot of the times, you know, when you're a kid in a decent family, it's your siblings, it's your mother and father, it's your cousins, it's your whoever, or like, you know, I kind of had that, but in the other hand, it was also like friends and shit like that. So this song was about me just looking at my mother and being like, damn, like, I see you every day, and I don't realize that you're getting older. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, it was like, the 55th birthday, 56, 57, and then it was 60 at it. It felt, like, from 50 to 60 felt like nothing, you know? And, like, and even for me, it's like, I was getting older and shit like that, and I was living, but I had my head shoved so far up my ass, and I was, like, part of... You know, I'm a boy in Baltimore being raised by a single mother. It's like, yeah. And I was skipping school. I was playing in bands. I was smoking weed. I was skateboarding. I was fucking, you know, and then I fucked my shit up. And then I started working construction. And then, like, whatever, you know, like, I was going all over the place. And, like, my mother, based on what she lived through with past relationships and raising kids that weren't hers and losing babies and shit like that, and then raising me on her own, I really appreciated it. And it was just kind of like, you're getting older, that shit's scary. Like, and I can actually go back and, like, that whole song is just, I hope at the end of the day, when you do die, that you're proud of me, that you know that I appreciate it, and I'm gonna try and do everything that I can to remember you in a positive way. Even though there was a lot of fucked up shit between me and my mother, like this song was kind of like her flowers before she did die. I lost my mother in January 2021 to COVID. So, you know, this song, and what makes it even crazier is that Chris, before COVID was even like a thing, lost his mother to something very similar. I haven't talked to Chris much about it because I know it's a touchy subject and shit like that. But Chris also lost their mother, and that song from Cathedrals, 1993, like I said, was also a song about losing your mother and how much you love her. And then when she does die, about how you would do anything to bring her back. And Chris and I are the ones doing vocals on that song.
Right.
I wanna explain why everybody's laughing. Shannon's trying to like
I just thought about that. Yeah, that probably sounds terrible.
like Scooby Doo. Yeah. No, we're good. Yo, no, Payne's fucking hilarious, dog. Tell me about your dead mother. That shit's fucking... Yo, that's the vibe right now.
What's that video on the Breakfast Club where he was like, "So yeah, my mom actually passed away," and then he's like, "Yo, you laughing?"
Oh God, dude. Rest her soul. See, but like shit, like
he did come in there pretty hot. He came in there pretty hot, yo.
we love doing shit like that. You know, like that's how motherfuckers get us fucked up, because it's like that's some asshole shit, but it's hilarious. Like so, but me and Chris actually do the vocals on that song, and then come to find out a few years later, like Chris loses his mom, and then I lose my mom shortly after. But yeah, that was all just like a Flowers thing. It's just like, I love you, and I will always love you, and I hope you're proud of me.
Yeah, beautiful, man.
Yep.
All right, One Foot in the Grave. The lyrics that shows a young man with nothing to lose, and it's just about kind of living with the mentality that you'll already be dead soon, and kind of just pulling yourself along. The comedian Joey Diaz says this a lot. He says, "I got one foot in the grave and another on a banana peel." So just kind of talk about like that sort of mentality.
Shout out Uncle Joey.
Yes,
Oh my God.
Shout out to Uncle Joe. Yeah.
Cocksuckers, it's Monday, cocksuckers.
Get up.
Get up, yeah. Got one hand on your balls.
I want to give a.
Got the other hand on a fucking monkey. Let's go. It's Monday.
I want to give a shout out to my stepfather Howard. We call him Mac Man, Big H, whatever. Because like the one thing I will say that I understand now why he did it, but like one thing I used to hate. This man used to catch me in lectures, bro. I'm talking about like the least amount of minutes, 30 minutes. Oof. Most 2 hours. Oh, and I'll be standing the whole fucking time.
Yo. Oh my God.
One time, little side tangent, I promise we'll get back. Little side tangent, because this happened. He could be my witness, because it
happened to me. That's why. Yeah. I come in the house. I was just, I don't know. I think like it was like I was dropping off grass, or we were about to fucking match or something or whatever. So I come in the house, right, and we take care of business or whatever, and fucking I'm headed out. And Trey's
He's
like walking.
Literally about to walk out the door.
I'm in the doorway. I'm in the doorway between the kitchen and the living room, and the only thing that's the only thing that's holding me from like being out of the house is like 10 feet. But Big Howard's sitting at the kitchen table,
and he was asleep.
Yeah,
he was asleep. That's the best part.
And he sprung up. It was like me and Trey dabbed each other up in the kitchen, right? So we come out of the basement, door's right there. All you got to do is turn a corner and walk out the front fucking door. And before I could get out the door, he said, "Hey, let me tell you something." And then he was like, back in my day, a white man wouldn't be in my house. And I was like, how do I get out of this conversation? Like, I want to say I understand. I want to be like, look, it's not even like that. A part of me is offended. But like, it's like, what am I to do? So I just stand there, and then I get hit with a 45-minute conversation of all this shit, and it's like,
and the only thing that broke it up was my mom hitting. That's right, yeah. But my mom, she told me she had a bowl. She had a mini ball the size of this sparkling water, bro, and she was like, "Psst, Trey." I'm looking up the steps. She's on the step landing with the bong in her hand like this. And I'm like, "Mom, you said we're going to smoke a bowl. That's a bong. Where did you get that?" And as soon as I said that, she sparked it up right there and apparently burnt her eyelash. Yeah, bro. Like,
was that happening at the same time?
Her saying broke the conversation between me and you and Big Howard.
Oh, yeah. Okay. She burned her eyelash up?
Yeah, on the top of the step, bro.
I love Mom, bro. Shout out Trey's mom, dog.
Yeah. But, like, the reason why I was saying that, because, like, a lot of the times he would lecture me about, like, far as, like, I think part of him was, like, worried because he saw the potential in me. like at a very, very, very young age. I guess like he knew that. He even told, because I think, I mean, obviously people, when you're a parent and you grow older, you know how to like, and you get more kids or you're surrounded by more kids, you know how to discipline them better. You know how to, you know, like, but like back in my days, you know, it wasn't like that. So, either my cousin Damien or my brother Rashid, me and my brother Rashid, we have the same mom, but he's 14 years older than I am. And he was like, I think he asked mom and Big Howard, was like, you know, you used to beat the living shit out of us when we were younger. Why don't you ever like touch Ray or whatever? And they were basically kind of saying like I was either like different or I had no real reason to. You know what I'm saying? Like because like I never, even though like they kind of threatened it, I think that was like part of like the old habit of them breaking out or whatever. But like I used to tell them all the time, like, why would I ever give you a reason to do that?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like that's like because like my family like old school, like because like my stepfather used to say to me all the time, look, if you have a problem, we can step out back.
Damn.
We can fight, right? And then he said, you're gonna lose either way, and I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna whoop your ass. No, you're either gonna whoop my ass, and then your ass is gonna get whooped because you whooped my ass, or I'm gonna whoop your ass and go to jail, and then when I come back out of jail, I'm gonna whoop your ass again for putting me in jail. And then I was just like, God, I was like, jeez, but in those lectures, he used to tell me all the time, like he doesn't feel like he had a lot of time left. He felt like he had one foot in the grave. I feel like because he now has dementia,
Right.
and I feel like he felt like he knew something was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, like something was coming. Because I used to come times, especially during Halloween. This shit during Halloween used to like be eerie to me. I'm not gonna lie. Because like sometimes we didn't do like hot candy out in the whatchamacallit. I would come in the house. He would have the TV off. It'll be pitch black so nobody can knock on our door or whatever, but he'd be sitting in the chair in the dark smoking a cigarette.
That's a different vibe.
Yeah. and I'm just
No
like,
lights, fuck. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, and I'm just like, you good, Matt? He's like, yeah. I was like, you need me to grab you anything else? He's like, no, I'm cool. right, like that kind of thing, yeah.
In the shadows.
But like that really like melted in like me, like deeply ingrained wise and everything. And like when I was actually growing up and like dealing with the things I was dealing with around that time, I definitely felt that as well, in a certain sense. Because like one thing, this might be like an irrational fear of mine, but my irrational fear is like I'm gonna do something that's either going to cost me my freedom or going to kill me.
Right.
That's my biggest irrational fear, and that just carries with me with that song as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now I have the last song for that is Dishonor, and the lyric I chose, a waste of space and a sack of meat filled with disappointments, and it's just feeling like you have failed yourself and others, and with the sack of meat, it's feeling less than human.
Right.
And I wanted to like just talk about how like humans, how we kind of compare ourselves to things that are inhuman. Like back in like the times of the Holocaust, they were comparing Jews to rats and things like that. And you know, people think it's just an insult, but like no, it's a lot deeper than that.
Oh yeah,
when
for
you
certain.
compare yourself to something that's not human, it's like a whole different type of degrading and stuff like that. So just talk about those feelings and stuff like that.
Just being gross, man. Fucking.
We're all fleshy bits, and we're just giant sperm cells in a fleshy mech suit. Like, but yeah, like when you for real, like think of a sperm cell. Like that's your brain and your spine. Like you're just meat wrapped around that. But that's that's a conversation for a different day. But. You're not. But it's like just like feeling worthless, feeling like a piece of shit. Like you get to those points where you're like, dog, like I don't even deserve people to hate me. It's like I'd rather just.
Right, I'm just not even fucking worth it.
Yeah. It's just trash. Like you're just a sack of meat. You're flesh. Like it just. A waste, a waste if even,
This is kind of a side note. Me and my dad have talked about this before, I think on one of our cigar discussions, but if you take like acid or mushrooms or something like
Mm-hmm.
that and look in a mirror, you really start to seem like more of a sack of meat. 'Cause
Yeah.
You see a little bit like more through your flesh and stuff
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
and there's
so-
like juices flowing through you and
Yeah,
shit.
your
I
and,
hands
wish
are
I
all
had that
crazy.
experience on acid. I looked in a mirror and I was just like, it's a fucking mirror. That was it. Like I was like, okay. They told me not to look, but I did.
Oh, okay, and that's me.
It's
I
me,
was
yeah.
there. I was there last time I looked. I'm gonna be there next time.
It was cool. But
Yeah. Hey, look, I know this guy. But yeah, psychedelics. That's a conversation. We went on tour one time and had an experience.
Not for me.
Feel free if you want to talk about it. We're open.
We will, because you got a bunch of stuff you want to get to. But yeah, it's just kind of definitely feeling less than, and I feel like it's really relatable for a lot of people. Just being absolutely sick of yourself and not really having any like hope or like, oh, how am I gonna fix this and shit like that. Sometimes you just get in those modes where it's like you have to continue to play the game and you're still dealing with shit, so it's like that's a struggle in itself. I don't know, let me see, I want to read the rest of the lyrics cause,
That's all I had was just a
and
waste of
human brain
space.
sounds- yeah you get the vibes.
You get the vibes. You know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, and then you don't, and then everything is okay.
Alright. So now we'll get into the 2018 promo. One of my personal favorites, Dirt. Probably the grooviest track, I think.
It's the grooviest track anybody's ever written ever. Like,
I think the main reason why a lot of people like that song, tiny sidebar. I got my best friend. I started dating my best friend. We're not dating at the moment, but I dated my best friend because she started liking me because I did a dance move in the break of Dirt. And I find that so fucking weird and funny.
that's cute.
It is cute.
She's like, look at him. He's got look at it. That boy got rhythm. Oh my god.
Just for me.
Speaking of that, per request, has anybody crip walked during that breakdown yet? I saw it in a post.
I want to say we had a couple of people that tried.
They tried.
I
I was voted best mosh of 2018 for that crip walk, and I don't think anybody can do it as good. I mean, like I'm not killing people. I'm not out there really like hard like dancing. But
He's
yeah,
always crip walking
it's
before
the
he
crip
swings
walk.
back
You
down.
get a fat two step from me, and I was just like, bro, like this part is perfect for that. And I think we may have gotten it a few times. Like shout out Gage. Like whenever I'm out.
Shout out to
dancing,
the homie Gage. Yeah.
He'll come out and dance and shit. And he's got a nice little crip walk. But other than that, like I don't. Nah, everybody's too like too tough guy to be hopping. Like
right.
like
Make sure you check out
bouncing around. Yeah.
Make sure you check out his band. I believe it's called Xcide. It's EXCIDE. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
They about to drop a record, or they already did. It's just for what I heard so far. It's pretty fucking fire.
Hell yeah. But the song is just kind of, again, it's like describing, like, I guess, wanting to be dead, put me down in the dirt. So whoever wrote that, I guess, talk about.
Trey, you talk about wanting to die in there.
He talks about losing a lighter. He's like, "Where is my light?" And I relate. See, that's the lyrics you should have got. That's way more relatable. It's like,
Is that dead ass what that means?
no,
I was gonna say.
but the lyric is like, "Where is my light? Honestly, I just want to die." And it's like, bro, like when you can't find your lighter, all you want to do is smoke some weed. You just want to die, dog. Like I can't even get high right now because my dumbass lost my life.
Yeah, I when I was writing it for some reason, I thought about, because that was actually what I was talking about earlier when my whole entire vocals changed again.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually around that time too. But
That's
like,
right after I joined.
I
I learned that whole thing in like the first week, I think.
yes sir.
Trap C baby.
Like, fuck it, we're gonna record this next weekend. I'm like, oh, okay, sick.
and it's been a fan favorite ever since.
Yeah.
It's been a very good fan favorite.
We can't not play it.
But yeah, I kind of had to. I don't know why. Like a lot of times when I think of like, I'm an imagery guy. Whether like even like in conversation we doing a story, I'm automatically picturing something in my head. And for some reason, I was thinking about the Witness video by Counterparts.
Okay.
and everything. And even though like at that around that time I was still having like my heavy depression thoughts and stuff like that, like that's what I was thinking about. I was just like, all right, I'm no longer good. I'm about to just dig my shit myself since nobody want to dig this shit for me. And like whether the rain takes me out or whether I suffocate underneath this dirt, either way I'm going to be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and All My Friends, which is, I like that song. It's about just being used by people who claim to be your friend. And the line that I like, but when their world has a crack right in it, I'll watch them cry. I will bury them before I fucking die. And I put that in the reference of when they tell you, like, on an airplane to put your mask on first. So it's like, I'll bury you before I let you take me down with you.
Right,
so
exactly.
just kind of talk about, like, what scenarios, like, that you felt like you were betrayed by a friend or just got used.
Believe it or not, that song was actually our first song we wrote as Deep Breaths. We just didn't put it out until like 2.5, 3 years later.
Gotcha.
But at least for that one, it was just most of like what I've seen or what I've seen other people deal with or how I've been dealt with and everything. Like one part, my personal favorite part when it was like, I guess all my best friends are a bunch of fucking pricks. I guess they care too much, and that came from a conversation I had with Squid actually one time, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm losing my thoughts. I'm losing my thoughts." But oh no, help me real quick.
That's okay. Well, I mean, I would say like for All My Friends was written at a time where like Trey was saying, we were thinking about shit we had been through. Like I had a buddy of mine who fucked himself up and wound up needing a place to stay. And at the time, like my mother had been kind enough to let another buddy of mine stay in the house. So it was me and him. Now this new guy who's like injured medically. But then like doesn't provide any sort of compensation. No money was coming in. What was crazy is his mom was bringing food and shit to help out, and I'm like, bro, if your mom can bring shit, like why don't you just live there? But it was like, okay, if you don't want to be there because of situations, then that's fine, okay. But like would write his name and be like only like exclusion shit. Like, bro, you're in my house, you're sleeping, you're fucking smoking my res out of my bong when I'm at work, we're struggling together, and you're writing your name on shit. So like, there was always kind of a weird thing with that. And then like healed up, and the two buddies got a place in the neighborhood, and then there was shit that happened in that, and just kind of a pattern of like hurt people hurting people. So like he definitely had some shit that he needed to figure out in his life, and I think today he probably has. We haven't talked much. For me it's just one of those things where I consider it a wash. Like I did good for somebody, and I don't do things to expect anything back, but it's nice. I'm gonna be human about it and be like, like if you would have my back the way I had yours, shit would be a whole lot smoother. But this song kind of like addresses that in a point where it's like we can still be friends, but like I've helped you out and you're not going to help me. And then usually those same people start talking shit and get crazy. So it's like, if you really want to go that route, I will bury you before I fucking die. And like, I got my own shit that'll make me fucking take myself out. So like,
no doubt.
You're first. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I definitely relate to some of that lately with some of the things I got going on. But, I think we need to learn how to really take care of ourselves. And I like what you said about hurting people, because I started looking at some of, like, the negativity of the people around me, and I noticed it was a chain of negativity, you know what I'm saying? One person acting negative towards another, and that causes that person to act negative towards others, and I was just like,
company, dude.
Yeah, dude, and I was like, I had to get away from it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to be careful about your energy.
Alright, now Wes, the song is just about like anger building up inside is what I gathered from it. The lyrics, no tolerance and no respect for this boy who thinks he's a man.
So this actually goes back to the whole entire Baltimore culture topic earlier in the podcast. So I was on Facebook one time, and Chris was beefing with some other dude with a mutual friend of ours, and he was just like showing off on he was basically showing off on like Facebook and be like, I'm from West Baltimore, XYZ. And I'm just like, bro, you look like a white dude in Pikesville. Like, like, bro, I don't know who you think. Because, like, I'm not saying every single person on West Side is like this, but I know a lot of people on West Side that do not act like the way he was acting.
Right.
And it's like, I know, like the people I know, like what I tell people like all the time in Baltimore. There's not very. If we have a problem with you, and like it's a problem, there's no words in between.
Yeah.
There is like, so say for example, if I had an issue and I'm like, the next time I see you, I'm fucking you up. And I just so happen to see Squid and I'm the one that he's beefing with or whatever. And I see him at a show, I'm not saying shit to nobody, going straight to him, deck him right in the face. And started beating his ass. And that's a lot of people on the West Side that do that shit. I remember going to the bus the other week. Some dude is behind like the glass panel. First of all, I thought this was really fucking weird. Because it wasn't the solid part. It was like you could see through. And this nigga,
like standing there weird.
yeah, he's like this or whatever. And some guy's like running like trying to get the bus. And as soon as he passed at one point, yo was just like, boom. And then like, and then started like fighting them and everything. I'm just like, whatever.
Should have been talking shit.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like people claiming to be somebody that they're not, whatever.
Right.
Like claiming a area, claiming a neighborhood, claiming
Like
Baltimore, claiming whatever.
Right, like claiming you're a man, you don't even know the first steps to be a man.
Right.
Like that's crazy. Like I mean, thinking like now, like yeah, because like even back then, like I obviously like nowadays I have a more mature thought about it, but like still thinking about it back in the day, that's still kind of crazy because like. Why are you doing that? Like, go at your own pace. Don't fake to be something else or whatever. It's kind of like another person that be like, oh, I was broken, I was struggling. You don't know what I've been through. Nigga, I don't give a fuck what you've been through. Like,
no
everybody's broken, struggling. Like, what the fuck you mean?
I don't understand why people want to, like, why would they want to brag about a struggle anyway?
They just want to glorify. Yeah, they just want to glorify shit. And, like, this one...
miserable than you are.
Right. It's one thing to like it's one thing because like I always put glorification with like cultural appropriation or whatever. That's another topic another day. I don't really believe in the appropriation on the certain level that people talk about.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a fuck if a white boy has dreads. Like
Yeah.
Shout out Brian.
Right, shout out my nigga Brian. Like, what does that even matter, bro? Because you can't fucking wear dreads because some other oppressive nigga, if you like in Texas that don't want you to wear dreads in school or have box braids in school.
Don't you do your hair like me?
Right, like if you look at them people, bro, like they're in suits, bob haircuts, and fucking toupees that look like fucking Donald Trump.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, there's nobody in that place that has fucking a curly hair or type of hair that I have on their head, bro. So I don't expect some motherfucker to do that. How about instead of like oppressing some guy that's probably on the same fucking level as you are, culturally or poverty line or whatever, the same, probably be your next door fucking neighbor or some shit, and take it out with the system. Do something to put some legislation and push it back or whatever. We've been doing this shit for how long? We've been like a free country for what, 400 years now?
Something like that.
Yeah, like so like even though we're still doing shit and we're still going backwards on a lot of shit, you're still consistently putting legislation to do other shit. Just you got to put the work in, bro. You can't take the lazy weight out of shit like that.
Yeah. All right, let's hop into the spring promo. OG Mentality. This is probably... It's up there with the other promo of my favorites.
Shout out to Uncle Tutu.
Yo, hell yeah, Uncle Tutu.
This whole entire song is about my uncle.
Yeah, this is a character. It's literally written about a man.
Gotcha.
His name is Willie Kuzar, but everybody in the family calls him Tutu. Okay. So I call him Uncle Tutu.
Wild.
He is the wildest boy you will ever meet in your whole entire life. This is what he was saying. All he cares, he lets everybody know. He only cares about money, drugs, and white women.
That's it. That's what I'm going to.
In that order.
White women.
Specifically white women. That's it. Yeah. So you don't even have to ask us about OG mentality. Just like
he would literally be like, and white women. You
Come
know I
over-
can't fuck
yeah.
with them coloreds.
that's
Like,
it. Right. Yeah. Wow. Like wild shit
wild
like that.
boy,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Yeah. So shout out Uncle Tutu. Yeah. That song's for
Yeah,
Uncle Tutu.
he's always the one that's like he would come like 2:00 in the morning, and me and my cousin would be sleeping, and I would wake up because I know he's walking in the basement because me and my cousin used to share the basement, and he will slap Josh in the face and he'd be like, "Wake up, boy." Roll this shit up. Like,
Yeah. Or we'd all be chilling in the basement, like playing the game or something, like smoking a blunt or whatever. You hear the door bust it, like the police came in.
Yeah, and he will flip the light
He
switch off.
flipped the light switch off. He'd be like, "You know what the fuck it is."
Yeah, dude. Like,
He'd come in like an action hero. It's crazy, and he would always have weed, and he'd want to smoke, and he'd want to talk about white women and money.
What the fuck?
He's
So-
like stink meaner.
yeah, he's like he's a friendlier version
He's
of Stink
young
Meaner,
stink
yeah.
meaner.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, and people grow apart. The lyrics I have: I hold you so close to my heart. That's why these memories won't be enough. And it reminded me of a mother's nature, and just how would you? So yeah, it just reminded me of a mother's nature. Kind of talk about what that song's about and what aspect of you growing apart from people.
Just like people that you quote unquote consider friends. A hard reality for me personally, from my experience, that it's hard for me to like deal with is not everybody's in your life forever.
Yeah.
Whether it's like, and not like talk about like, oh, niggas die, niggas move away or whatever. It's just like sometimes like people are in part of your life to either give you a lesson or to do something for you, and then you probably won't see that person ever again for the rest of your life.
Right.
And to me, that's kind of heart-wrenching because like I've known people and talked to people, like even like my childhood best friend. I might not talk to him, but like I could hit him up and be like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I could catch up. We will pick up off like it's nothing. Obviously, we have history, but like I expect that personally from other people. It's one thing if like your behavior changed because of something traumatic or like something big that happened in your life. So like your mental is a little different or whatever. So like the way how you carry yourself or where you talk might be a little different or whatever. But like it just seems very awkward, and I know it's not fake because everybody goes through their own shit. But it seems fake to me. Like I can't hit you up and we can't pick up where we left off. What the fuck did I do to you?
Right.
Like and so
serve my purpose down
right.
the fucking side. Like,
Yeah, and that really bothered me. It took me a very long time to like get over that.
Yeah,
honestly.
I feel like we as humans like just naturally attach to people and things very easily.
Yeah.
And after you tend to lose some things, you tend to be less likely to get attached to things in the future.
Yeah.
So last project we're gonna talk about, and we're gonna like get a little more in depth as far as the lyrics, is the Civil Unrest EP. Now, it was released June 17th, 2020. It was less than a month after the murder of George Floyd. Now, this is coming directly from you guys. This can't fully express the centuries of pain, death, and fear. This is only a fraction. We want to create a piece of art that stands on its own and says something to empower everyone affected by this unjust country and the racist, tyrannical police force we have. Now, I'm going to go through and I want to read the lyrics for the people because when I was reading them on Bandcamp, like, I had listened to the songs and, like, listening to, like, screams and stuff like that. I'm good at picking up some things, but not fully all of the lyrics. So when I was actually going through and reading them all, I mean, they were very poetic and they were, like, really strong, which is why I want to read all of them. I don't think it's enough just to pick out one line. So, Systematic aggression. I'm going to get the mic a little closer. Generations of hate pass to another. When life leaves my brother's eyes, you sit in silence. What am I supposed to do? I don't think you do understand. To understand my struggle, to understand my pain, to understand the strength it takes to go on. Always dragged through the fucking mud. You sit in silence. I've grown worn from the conversations. You can see the disconnection. Generations of hate pass to another. Why? I don't think you do understand to understand my struggle. But I expect you to shut up and listen. And this part is what really, like, like got to me. It was, please hear my plea. What am I supposed to do? And then the Equalizer. A gun and a badge won't save you now, bitch. And I promise on every body we buried, you'll pay for your sins. A life for a life, watch you hang by your neck, the death of a coward. You killed my brothers, how the fuck should I act? You killed my sisters, how the fuck should I act? I see empathy as what you lack. Now it's obvious you think it's a crime to be black. Life is hard enough, a worry for generations to come. Now the songs, they were in reverse order on the album, but I chose to read them in that order because systematic aggression, it describes the problem at hand, and I feel like the Equalizer describes like the repercussions of what happens when you're oppressed for that long. So just kind of discuss your takes on the meanings.
That was originally the believe it or not, that was originally the track list. The only reason why we did Equalizer first is because we knew that people will gravitate towards that song a lot more. So we put that first and everything. But chronically and everything, it makes more sense the way how you do it. Far as like systematic aggression and everything, it's just basically like it is. Like I've been like diving a little bit more into it because like a lot of people want to blanket problems, and what I mean by that, it's like so for example, they will be like, oh, the cops are racist, so therefore they trying to just like kill black people, or like that's why black people are oppressed or whatever in certain aspects of that form, whereas way deeper than that, because like the whole entire country, it's on not like a regime, but like a white supremacist mentality. It wasn't supposed to, it's not, this country wasn't, in my opinion, what I've gathered and what I did my research, this country wasn't like, it wasn't like founded in certain favors of us. Even it doesn't even have to like necessarily be like even for like black people. It was also for like the Italians. It was also like that for the Asians. That like they also got repercussions because of, reparations because of, you know, what the fuck that they did to the people, especially to the Asians on the West Coast. Like that shit was tragic. And yeah, dude, and I think that's what people don't like. And the worst part about the whole entire thing, I guess, is like, how do we fix something like that? So something that's just been deeply ingrained and it's passed from generation to generation to generation.
Yeah. And a system was built on it too.
And on a system that was never supposed to be meant for people like me, him, or anybody that's in this room right now.
Right.
It wasn't. If you could cheat the system and manipulate to where you could shoot yourself up there, good for you. But other than that, it wasn't supposed to be meant for like people like us.
It's crazy because like if you get pulled over by a cop and they're talking to another cop, you gotta think they go by like a number code, and you'll never guess what a number 1 is.
Yeah.
You'll never guess what a number 2 is. You know what I'm saying? And like white person's at least like a number 4. It's like black people, number 1, Spanish people, number 2. That's just instantly what they think is the person who committed the crime or the person who's doing some kind of wrong.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's a system
Profiled.
It's a system based on stereotypes and racism, and it's been modified to try to fit a society that we have nowadays, and it just doesn't work. Like we have to like. I'm a huge hip hop head, and KRS-One, talked a lot about like overseers and officers. Like it's in fucking Sound of the Police, or it's like they would police a plantation the same way that they police a society.
Right.
With power and fear and all this shit, and what happened was, it went from being a color thing to a demographic thing, and like in Spanish, white, black, Asian, as long as you're not making money, that's all. You're in the same pot. This distraction of like separating us based on race or based on religion or based on whatever. It's money. It's the people who have it and the people who don't have it. And the little petty shit, like the cops, like the cops don't make jack shit for money either, but they're the people who have to police us. So they uphold the law that's already racist, then there's all this racist undertones and shit like that, and crazy opinions and stuff like that, where people get wrapped up in following people who get paid to say shit.
Yeah.
You know, and agendas get pushed and shit, and then, you know, you make a cop who maybe, you know, could have not been a racist, be pushed into a situation, be put in an area like I don't ever think you should be a cop in a place that you're not from.
Yeah.
Like I don't
I
think...
wholeheartedly agree with that too.
Well, that's
You gotta have,
originally
like,
how
civic
it
pride.
was.
Right, yeah,
is
exactly.
that officers were like members of their neighborhoods, but I
Yeah.
feel like now you
like, yeah, you
fucking you're a cop and you just go.
Yeah, like I see Anne Arundel County cops like that live in the city, or I'll see like PG cops that are like over in White Marsh or something like that, or like, you know, Baltimore cops. Like I'll see Baltimore cruisers in the county and shit like that, and it's like there's so many fucking things that, like, the George Floyd shit, and even like Freddie Gray,
Yeah.
like for Baltimore specifically, you know, it's a situation of like,
They canceled that show, that verdict. I was kind of pissed about that. I'm not going to hold.
yeah,
So sad.
the problem is you get put like in a place like Baltimore, getting a job, like it's way more easier and way more accessible to just like keep the corner bumping
Yeah.
and like do shit in a way that's illegal, or like, you know, like I grew up around a lot of people who were into like stealing cars and flipping parts and shit like
Right.
that, and selling weed here and there or whatever, you know, like they had homies who were selling crack and selling, you know, and crazy shit, but it was like, it was glorified, and it was like the only thing. So it was like
Yeah.
cool and shit, and it was kind of nerdy to get a job, and it was hard to get a job, and all this. So like that's all feeding into it, and then you add that to like, so like it's a struggling environment, and then you add all the tension, and then, you know, Baltimore, like one of the most corrupt districts for like police is like Baltimore City
Yeah.
Police.
The whole gun
Fucking
chase task
crazy
force
gun
thing.
yeah, like planting drugs on people, you know, like perpetuating the shit that you're supposed to be like. First of all, like the approach is wrong. Like you should be like counseling people and like trying to put people in jobs and like figuring out why the city is dying and there's less work and there's less shit. Like there's so many things that could have happened that all led up to it, and it's disgusting that it's laziness and a choice of profit over people.
Yeah.
You know, like
Numbers.
if
It's a numbers
if you
game.
would fix, if you would just if you would step outside,
Biggest gang of them all.
yeah, because they're making money off of them drugs.
Uh-huh.
They're making money off of those guns.
They get
They're-
bonuses. when
Right,
they get
exactly, yeah. Right, and that's where you get the corruption and shit like that. It's like, you know, because what happens when you have a good neighborhood?
Right.
You don't make no
You know,
make that.
yeah. What happens if you
It's
fix
an
all the
easy day.
Well, yeah, but then it's like, you know, you don't get all that money, you don't
No
get all that extra
overtime.
shit, right? Yeah, exactly. So like,
Make a quota,
yeah,
you know,
it's
all that shit.
it's different. It's different factions going at each other. Like Young Thug said, everybody's got a job, right? But like, you can be terrible at your fucking job.
Uh-huh.
Like, and that's another thing is like the police need to be vetted more. There needs to be like strict psychiatric shit. There needs to be like a social. There needs to be some sort of like. I'm gonna be straight up. If you're a white dude, you shouldn't like. If you've only been around white people, you shouldn't be a police officer in a predominantly black area.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be a black officer in a predominantly Middle Eastern part of town, or like a, you know, like you should have spent time in your life to be around all these people, because you have to understand, and it's like it's the ignorance that gets us all fucking tripped up. And like when you put somebody who's ignorant in a place of power, then all the prejudice and all the other shit comes out, and yeah, it's just we as people bite ourselves in the ass with ignorance. So it's like, yo, we all have to band together and make this shit make sense. We have to change stuff. We have to vote on stuff. You know, I was saying earlier, it's like it's the game that we play. You know, it's really close to like we all hate politics, and I hate talking politics. Like
Sometimes it's necessary.
I hate the right with a passion. I hate the left with a passion. My whole thing is like, I tell people this all the time. I saw it on, I think it was like Reddit or something. It's like, I want like non-binary gay couples to be able, non-binary, interracial couples to be able to protect their marijuana plants with guns.
Right.
Like that's what I want. Like in a perfect world, be who you are, sleep with who you want to, do what you want to do, work how you want to work, live how you want to live, protect yourself when necessary.
I'm about mind your business politics.
Right, mind your business politics, exactly. Yeah, but also to benefit everybody involved too.
Yeah.
You know, and I think in a situation like this where like, you know, police brutality spiked and, you know, social media was all over it and tensions were high, and it just like it something needed to be, you know, obviously a lot of people were saying it. We were a small voice in a bigger echo chamber of like what's actually happening. And I really appreciate that the music was well received and people loved it and we did what we could do with it. But like, it's not over. And when we started, it wasn't the beginning. This isn't like groundbreaking, and that's sad. But it's also like, us trying to do our part in some way to be like, we need to address this shit. Forgetting about it, sweeping it to the side, isn't going to do anything for anybody. People need to be held accountable for what they do. And then on top of that, we also need to come together as people and figure out how we're going to fix it moving forward and actually have shit that makes sense in the game that we play.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think I want to also add to that one thing. I did hear that I didn't like look too deep in it. I haven't had the time yet, but I did hear that at least New York City. I know the whole state of New Jersey is like this. They implemented something called the Safety Act or something like that. This would be like a new bill or whatever that is supposed to. What's the word I'm looking for? Sort of do like stuff like what Squid was saying, like more critical psychiatric like evaluations. Like things along nature and everything. And the people, I think the reason why this was getting a little bit of buzz because I think they said the Republicans or whatever trying to tear it down or whatever because like some of the stipulations of whatever of it in it, because they were saying something of like, if it was like it was like some crazy shit. Like it was something about like being let off of like stuff like aggravated assault, second-degree murder.
Oh, I saw
shit.
that.
Yeah, like shit like that.
Right?
But
for cadets and shit like
but
that.
it's not like I viewed it more like kind of like you go home without. I think it's like you could go home or whatever, like without paying like bail or some shit like that. You don't put no money up front or whatever for that, like the kind of charge or some shit like that. But like what Charlemagne was trying to say, it was like he thinks it's more of like it's going to be up to the judge to decide that kind of thing. So obviously you got to know who the fuck like is going to be doing what in that kind of power.
Yeah.
But like apparently that was like one of the stipulations that was added to that. So that's why it was creating buzz. So they were trying to propel that to try to dismantle like the good side of the act. And I haven't got the chance to like deep down.
Yeah, that's weird. I haven't heard anything about that. I just think I think in any way you look at it, we shouldn't be letting fucking middle school bullies run around with guns.
That's facts.
No.
Yeah, like
That's
that's
facts.
like motherfuckers who are power hungry, who have some weird unresolved mommy issues and shit.
And have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, like don't know how to
No
talk to
idea.
people.
Therapy.
Don't know how.
Yeah,
you need
bro.
therapy, not a gun and a badge.
Dead
Like
ass.
that's the shit. Like I think at least for this a release that we did, that kind of was like the whole thing to just be like be accountable for give a shit about your job.
Right.
You're not going to keep going to Chipotle if they don't have fucking cheese and guacamole, right?
Yeah.
So why the fuck do we keep dealing with cops if they're killing us?
Yeah, no shit.
Like that, your job is to keep us
Yeah,
alive,
yeah,
asshole.
Yeah, people say that about like, there can't be any bad pilots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You fucking fuck up.
There
when you're
is
a
no bad
pilot.
pilots.
Yeah,
right,
exactly. No bad
so
apples.
why the fuck are there bad apples? Yeah, no.
And they say a bad apple can ruin the whole batch.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Well, I think one of the things, like the prerequisites for being a police officer is like you have to have a limited amount of times of smoking weed. Like you can have only Yeah. Like I think it's like 3 times max or something like that. You could have smoked weed in
Yeah.
your life, and I'm like, bro, the motherfuckers who were getting high, you need to send them out.
Yeah, no
like,
shit.
like you know, because then think about it.
I can't never be a cop.
Their whole like,
right, exactly.
that
Lost that possibility in 8th grade.
right, yeah. I was like 13 in the first day of being 13. That shit was gone. Like, yeah. So, but yeah, it's yeah, putting the wrong people in the wrong place, doing the wrong shit, and then acting like oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Man, shut the fuck up with that.
I knew exactly what the fuck was about to happen.
You know exactly what the fuck is happening, right?
You know, everybody act clueless when their friend get in trouble.
Talk it.
This is on a similar topic. It's kind of the last note on the whole thing. So I was reading Michael K. Williams' book called Scenes from My Life.
Uh-huh.
And I only got into the first chapter. He was talking to this kid from Cleveland, Ohio, and he started to get into like bad neighborhoods and police and stuff like that. And reading it made me think about this discussion and everything like that. And I just kind of wanted your guys' perspective on how true these statements are. Most black men know this from experience. Cops doing things just because they can, because it sends a message about power and belonging. It's a trap because if you react, you just feed into it. So the best move is to be quiet and take it, though every fiber in your being wants to explode. And then they went on to say, I think it's all a setup. It's designed for you to fail out here, which is what you were saying on a different note. Every black man was once a boy who got the same message. Yeah, just kind of discuss how true you think those statements are and your own personal experiences.
It's pretty true in a sense. I feel like especially depending on how you grew up and how active police were around your area. Cause growing up with me, I'm black and Mexican. I know I'm light as fuck, but police weren't really, for me, police weren't the hugest issue. They always were for my friends. But I got off pretty easy with stuff because I'm light. So on my reports, it usually always says Caucasian.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? They don't even look at Rodriguez on the last name.
But isn't that fucked though?
It is fucked.
Yeah, that's
because
I
can be doing the same shit as my friends, and then I'll be good. But they'll be chilling over handcuffed on the corner.
Yeah, and it's true.
I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You tell them it's yours.
Dog, I'm serious.
Right.
When I was younger, and I was hanging out with people, and we were getting into shit, I'd be the face. If shit popped off, I'd have to be the one to talk to cops or talk to if a security guard came up or something like that. I'd be like, well, excuse me, sir. Well, I think maybe if you, just have to play a part.
Yeah.
You hit your white man.
Let me put on my white man real quick.
Sir.
Yeah. Well, I think this establishment is out of line. So, but it is true. It is a show of power, especially with certain people, that take it. You could lose your life over not taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's what I think is so fucked about this shit.
And it can start from something small too,
right,
just disturbing the peace even.
Right, and it's all based on like what Gabe was saying. It's colorism. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's racism, but super simplified to just if you look like you fit a description, that's it's a weird mentality, and it's all
just think about Family Guy.
What?
The color sheet, remember?
I was gonna bring that shit up.
It's just like that.
Wasn't it the Border Patrol? And they had it. They were just oh, he's good.
Yep.
Pass him.
Yeah, it's fucked, man. Yeah. And it stems back to the parents. I'm obviously a fucking mayonnaise baby, but I grew up without a dad in the house, right. And that affects you. You go out on the street and you figure out how to be a man by other boys, and then older dudes at the basketball court, or right. The kids who were skating, or the kids who were tagging, or the whatever. You kind of look at that, and in our communities in Baltimore, there's a lot of single mothers and a lot of kids trying to raise themselves. Yeah. Partly,
Mm-hmm.
You got a mom who's doing both at the same time, and she can only do so much. And, you know, you grow up doing what you saw and what you hear on the radio and shit like that, and it's a trap.
Yeah.
And the people on the other side, like I said, you know, that fucking power hungry cop probably grew up in a way different environment and thinks that and demonizes this whole thing, has no compassion, has no understanding, has no it's two people from two different walks of life trying to communicate, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I haven't read the book, I'm not familiar, but
Sound like you know what he's talking about, though.
sounds like a message. Like, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and forget where I was about to go. Screw it. So we'll get into the Deep Breast merch. So
Say, how do you feel about racism? Close, you know.
I forget what I'm saying. Honestly.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
No, I thought about that when I was looking over my notes earlier. I was like, wow, I ended that with something really strong, and then right
Sharp
away,
left.
like, all right, let's get into the live shot T-shirt.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess just like to wrap it up in a pretty bow is just like, don't judge people for the way they fucking look.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, worry about your house, then worry about your neighbors, then worry about your street, then worry about your community, then worry about your city, then worry about your country, then worry about the fucking world.
I remember what I was gonna say. Now that's I know it's kind of comparing TV to real life, but like that's why season 4 of The Wire was my favorite, because it dove into the kids and the broken homes and things like that. And really, I think that season explains the overall problems of every other season, because it all starts kind of at the home.
Shows you,
know?
how the cycle repeats.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the most touching part of the show for me.
And I also want to put this out there is also like when it comes to like fatherlessness and everything, because I'm not gonna lie, I was blessed enough to have Mac come into my life. He was, I thought he was always my uncle. That's how he introduced me to like himself. Like I thought that was like my mom's brother or my dad's brother or some shit like that, and it just turns out to be a very, very, very close family friend that loves my mother. You know what I'm saying? So I was blessed to have him in my life when my dad was not in the picture.
Yeah.
To show me what to be a band like. But I know there's a lot of people out there that don't have fathers, and that's not a skin issue either. It's white people.
It's just a dad issue.
Right, it's just a dad issue, and that's like a whole different type of topic. But like, yeah, dude, that shit trickles down. It trickles down in a very, very bad, destructive way. That's not good.
Yeah. And to go off what you were saying about it's not a skin issue, the comedian Theo Vaughn had like a small bit about that, because he grew up in a poor community and stuff like that, and he grew up around poor white and black people, and he was saying how some of the black kids would, say like, man, white people did this to us, and he's like, bro, I'm here with you. He's like, why would I do that to you and then move in next door?
Right, yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely, struggle is not a race issue at all. And,
But struggle does become one when the ignorant get involved. Yeah. It's like like I might get a pass for struggling the same way that Trey might be struggling. Somebody might talk to me and be like, oh well, you'll turn it around and you'll blah blah blah, and then like for Trey it might be like, oh you fucking it's always this, and it's like that's what we're trying to break. It's like dog like.
It's not that simple. It's not that black and white, literally.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like there's conversations that Trey and I can have from two different points of view that are both valid because we lived a similar life it's like looking at the same situation from two sides.
Yeah.
It's like people would discredit, sometimes one or the other based on that, but it's like, bro, like we both get it.
Yeah.
And we're both trying to figure it out. It's just how we came to where we are now that's different. But it's like, we need stronger families. We need stronger neighborhoods. We need to do better as people. I think that's the biggest. It's a generalization, but I think it's the most important thing is like the individual being a better person.
We all need more empathy for sure.
Yeah, a job doesn't make you. You make the job. That uniform didn't make you kill somebody, motherfucker. You killed somebody. You got some fucked up shit going on in you. Yeah, it unfortunately gets stuck to the whole thing. But if we work together to change it, create something new, I think we could do something great.
Absolutely.
Everybody just smoke a joint and shut up.
Yeah.
Just chill out.
Yeah, bro.
All right, I wanted to just like kind of go over some of the Deep Rest merch, and just feel free to like talk about how you guys were able to make the stuff, you know, who you hit up for the art and printing and stuff like that, or if it was DIY. Now, I mentioned the live shot tee, and you guys said it was a relic.
Oh yeah, it's
You weren't even in the band no more.
that's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. The only
Look like me.
yeah, because he has way longer hair now. Fucking
Do you remember what show that was?
that
shot
was
at?
Church Falls. It was like Northern Virginia. That was what.
VFW?
Yeah, I want to say.
That's that real hardcore shit.
I
If you
wanna
got a
say-
VFW shirt, fuck you. You're a fucking poser.
Yo, my buddy Travis, he used to play drums for a band called Shame Spiral in Virginia and everything. He's the one that actually took all the photos. And then one night, like I want to say like a night or two after the show, he sent that to me, and I was just like, yo, this is tight as fuck. He's like, can I pay you to like have that so we can like put it on the shirt or whatever? And he was like, yo, you could just have it.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh, you sure about that? He's like, yeah, man. I was like, all right, bet. I appreciate it.
So that was just a collage at first.
Yeah, no, that was just a regular few pictures. I think those were the pictures that he had that he also sent to us.
Gotcha. I didn't know if y'all did that for the shirt or not.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. This was like
The shirt,
literally-
the shirt was
he was
never an
just
idea.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just there.
Just caught some good pictures.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Mhm.
Come back
I
out.
want to say actually it was they play that show too because if you see
Yes.
yeah because fucking Luke we were playing
And Luke and Gage are behind you. Shout
Uh-huh.
out Gage again. Yo, this
Shout out to
the
Gage,
Deep Rest featuring Gage Lanza podcast.
yeah, and then my dude Luke probably like one of the best.
Yo,
Like,
Luke is a fucking monster.
Yeah.
All of you other Baltimore drummers, some ass. If you don't play like Luke, you can suck a fucking fart, bro. I'm trash compared to this kid. And what's crazy was is like when we were playing, like he would sit and watch me play drums and shit like that. And I remember watching a YouTube video of him watching me and being like, "Why the fuck are you poisoning your mind with the dumb shit I'm playing right now? Like, bro, you are so good." And I told him one time on Facebook, like I think it was a couple months ago, like after the pandemic, we hadn't talked in like 2 years or whatever. And I saw all the shit that Shame Spiral was doing and Knife Spitter and stuff like that. And I was just like, bro, you're holding it down. I was like, I really appreciate that. And I hope it meant something to him because seeing them play and shit, it's cool to see the talent that's come from them. Yeah.
He's been living his best life, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just scrolling through like Facebook and stuff like that, I found what was it, like a Blockbuster tee?
Yeah, we did a Blockbuster rip and we did a Supreme rip at the same time.
Yeah, the Baltimore Forever box logo.
Well,
Yeah.
To this day, my mom still gets compliments that people ask like, where can they get that shirt?
Yeah, that was the most fire T-shirt I think I've put out in any band.
Yeah, that was. I had it as a note. I wanted to ask if that was meant to be like a box logo rip.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was meant to be
100%.
a box logo. Yeah, 100%.
So y'all into streetwear and stuff like that?
Like I appreciate streetwear. I'm not too in streetwear culture. I just like what I like. You know
I
what I'm
appreciate
saying?
fashion. I think
Yeah.
that's
Right.
like a big thing is just to be like, I know what's in the know, but I'm like not ready to drop like hundreds of dollars on some hype beast shit.
Yeah.
But like I'm hype beast adjacent. Like you'll
Yeah.
catch me in some joggers
Exactly,
and some
yeah.
fresh kicks or whatever. Yeah, like
Yeah.
these recycled fucking Pepto-Bismol pink Vans and shit. Like like my drip is really weird, dog. Like I go
But
from
it's your own, and that's what makes it.
exactly
Yeah.
yeah. I go from dressing like a hardcore kid to dressing like some business dude to like
Yo,
this
straight
shit.
up,
yeah.
that's me.
Yeah.
Depending on the day, yo.
Yeah.
I'm comfortability over everything, man.
So yeah.
Right.
So like just anything that looks good, and pretty much that's the influence with
Always.
all of our merch is just like
like I'm always
if we think that the color palette would look good on us or somebody else, whatever, and because we're all kind of we all have different builds. We're all a little bit more, some of us have tattoos and we were like, okay, if it would look good on me, maybe it would look good on somebody else. And we want to make that shit that other people want to rock too. It's like, because I see people wearing some shit and I'm like, yo, if they had this with those pants, that'd be hard.
Yeah, I think that also too, because me and Gabe was been thinking about doing like a printing / like t-shirt kind of biz and everything, or like maybe making it to like either streetwear or clothing or whatever. Because like he said, like especially with like Deep Rest when we've been, because most of the like artwork and everything is usually me and Paul like trying to put it together, or like we see something like, oh, what about this? Like we got some designs from John Mayo. Shout out to Mayo.
Yep, I was gonna bring him up. What would you call these 2 shirts?
That's the how do I have it on the whatchamacallit?
I just wrote like shooter, little shooter tee.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're talking about the newest ones that we got from Mayo, yeah, a lot of people have said that kid, he looks like number 4 from Kids Next Door.
Yeah.
But like the gangster version of Kids Next Door. Yeah, I feel like this shirt was kind of like an homage to
Like all the Tech characters.
Rough Times.
Rough Times. Yeah.
This is what it
Gives
was.
me homies vibes.
Yeah.
Big homies.
I always relate to the character that's on the front of the shirt to you, because not only like he has like some of like the wildest fashion in my opinion, that's good. Like he's probably one of the flyest niggas I know, like no matter what. But he used to have an orange habanero like Volkswagen Jetta that he was just driving around for like a couple years.
It was that color. It was like the Reese's Puff Box color.
Shit, yeah. And he got rid of it because he kept on getting pulled over by the cops.
Yeah. When you smoke weed out of traffic cone, you get pulled over, dog. Yeah. But but I feel like that shirt specifically was kind of like a nod to the EP that we put out with Equalizer and Systematic on. Just kind of, we didn't get the chance to play that live much because right after we put it out, it was like pandemic.
Yeah.
So that was kind of that idea, and then with the medieval shit, it's just medieval shit, dog. It's like cool. It's hard, yeah. And it's like minimal. It's like minimal shit. It doesn't have a lot of colors on it. It's just black art.
Like the Lord of the Rings. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. This is like the last major sort of group of things, and I'm just going to be going over some of the shows that I picked out over the years that I thought were memorable. The first one I have is the Robbie Asbury. How do you say his name?
Asbury.
The memorial show at the Raven Inn, which was filmed and released on YouTube. Quote, "For your boy who supported everybody. I know he passed away." And I think you even shouted him out during like Mosh Against Addiction sets and stuff like that. Just talk about what Robbie meant to you in the hardcore community.
Robbie, like pride-wise, musically, I've never seen anybody love music and throw their body to the limit as hard as this dude did. Like he definitely had some issues, like whether it's drugs or like beef with certain people or whatever. But like he will get like knocked out of shows, get back up and just start going harder than he was before he got knocked out.
Yeah.
Like
and it would be like every show.
It's every show, especially
it was energy the whole
time. And like he will always ride. The worst, I think what was crazy because like I don't think he got the chance to see Deep Rest. He was going to go to the show. We played with Wicked World on Sidebar. Shout out to Wicked World. It's unfortunate what happened to them, but that band was still fucking fire. If you guys get the chance to check them out, definitely check them out for some cool tunes. But and then like maybe a couple days later, he OD'd, and then I was just gone. Like, and then Chris actually hit me up like 2:33 in the morning, and I was like, "Yo, Robbie's gone," and I was just like, "What are you talking about? Robbie's gone? He just said that he was clean like 2-3 days ago. What happened?" Yeah. And so. All that stuff. I didn't get the chance to get it tattooed yet because family issues and money trouble. But there on the flyer, there's a picture, the picture of him in the gorilla suit or that little gorilla thing that's on the flyer. That's actually taken from a photo of him in the gorilla mask and everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, I will say this: like, even though it's God Bless the Dead, he threw one of the shittiest fests ever. Oh my
Dog,
God.
there was a thing that was called Brofest. It was back in the day.
Oh, he did Brofest?
Yeah, it was so Brofest
Oh my
happened
God,
one
yo.
time in a barn in
A horse barn.
in a horse barn, like a
horse barn, my
like a
nigga.
show barn, like where they do where they jump over fucking the hurdles and shit with horses and show them and yeah. So they were like propane powered
Yeah, he
fucking
said the
heaters
whole thing
around the
was
room.
heated. The shit is in a propane heater.
It looked like two jet engines sitting on either side of the fucking barn.
Was that the show that was
Just
like
freezing.
at night and it was snowing and cold as fuck?
Yeah, it was icy, it was
well,
snow.
it didn't start at night. It started. I think we all got there at
started
like
at
2.
2.
Yeah.
The show was so backed up. It was like backed up for like 3-4 hours, yo.
Yeah. There
We wasn't
were
supposed to
bands.
play until fucking 2 in the morning. I
Yeah.
went to Robbie and I was like, yo, do you mind if we play like at 10 o'clock? He was like, yeah, man, that's cool. I shit you not, John. 5 minutes later, because Chris came down from smoking with them. They were smoking on the top of the horse barn. He came back downstairs. I guess he was blacked out by this time because he was shit-faced. Completely shit-faced. And he's this close in my face. And he's holding me like this. And he's like, Trey, Robbie said we could play at midnight.
Yeah, we're trying to play at 10. I think we were scheduled to play at 10, but like bands were going up playing 45-minute, hour and a half sets, like, and then like
And then
the
there's an
unload
hour.
and the load, and then there was like an hour break.
Intervention because horses had to shit. Fuck
Yeah,
your horse.
somebody stole Robbie's hash or whatever that night. There was people
Yo,
running around all over the place.
yo,
My buddy Matt fucking rolled around pissing like
I thought you were
dude.
gonna say
There was
someone stole a horse.
there was a handle of fucking Fireball being passed around, and
The
then
whole
like copious
time.
trunk beers. We had 4 or 5 different
The whole
cars
time.
just full of beers, and we had all the trunks open, and we were fucking throwing a football back and forth and shit. It was just a crazy shit, like batshit wild show. And then to cap it all off, right? So we're talking about how crazy of a rager this shit is, right? It gets to be about 11:15, and a fight breaks out, like the second or third fight.
Yeah. it was
And some
fucking like
motherfucker in
that.
overalls either flashes or drops a gun. Some redneck boot wearing motherfucker that nobody knew, that was, I guess, friends of the people who own the place, whatever.
Carly's fucking Pete Paul's gun.
Right, yeah. So fucking a gun comes out. Now this is, yes, it's 11. But it's still like
asleep in the
6.
car.
Yeah. So he's asleep in a car. Don's asleep in a car. Whatever. There's still 6 bands that need to go on before we can play. It's been pushed back that far, and then I'm coming. I'm like, yo, the cops are here. We gotta go. Like, yeah, right, exactly. So I mean, yeah, Robbie was if like Baltimore. For better or for worse, take it or leave it, like whatever Robbie did, like we didn't really know him, but like he was a vibe, like if Baltimore Hardcore could have been anything, if anybody could be a vibe, it's just like, yo, be like Robbie.
He was definitely like the energy and the soul of the room.
Yeah.
For like majority of the shows.
Yeah, you want shit to get moving.
That's what I do to this day. I was going to shows with this dude for at least 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
before
And
he passed.
having the hopes of somebody like getting their shit straight and like making it out. Like you want to see it for some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it was, I guess, your first time playing in Pennsylvania, Community Grace in Greencastle. Is that
Oh yeah.
correct?
Shout out to my boy Aaron.
Yeah, it was with
Yeah.
5 Year Winter, No Longer Silent,
5 Year
Revenge
Winter.
Season, Paper Trail, and Strength in What Remains. So I just wanted you to talk about like branching out from the small areas of PA, like Greencastle and stuff like that, and then getting into playing to Philly and stuff like that eventually.
I'll be real with you. I still am kind of ignorant of like how to get there without dragging everybody else in there. So if I remember correctly, which I don't have a problem with, because usually people who put people on the shows that they support the scene. Philly is definitely only like a 2-hour drive from Baltimore or whatever, but like we're not up in Philly like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The craziest part about it, though, and this is no diss to him, he does a fantastic job, and he always had his eyes on us and everything. It just hasn't clicked there. We just haven't done anything. Chris, the guy who actually helps like do This Is Hardcore and everything,
Okay.
was doing merch for Strength and What Remains, and we played with Strength and plenty of times. We got close with the dudes, like Josh and them, Phil. They really, really cool guys. I talked to them on the side and everything. Put a lot of certain things for me in perspective, especially because like I did have like some type of faith. I'm not saying I don't have like faith as far as like Christianity or whatever anymore, but it's more like not like I'm not worth your time kind of thing. Kind of back to that whole depression shit. But he knows about us. It's just that he personally hasn't brought us up yet.
Yeah.
Or just things hasn't clicked because Philly is like a big spot, especially that part of Philly. And there's so many bands coming in and out. Even like Legends, Earth Crisis, fucking, they get like, especially when they do like the This Is Hardcore Fest and everything. Some of the names they brought up, like they just brought up fucking like Thursday, like this past, and to do their anniversary or one of their albums, like that shit was kind of crazy.
Yeah. We would definitely love to play Philly more. I think that that first show in PA definitely like opened up some doors and shit, and the fact that we were able to play with Voltage, that's what.
Yeah, shout out to Dom from Freeze MF. He's a really cool guy. He always look out for us too.
And that was FanFest that we played there?
Yeah, FanFest.
Yeah.
That was FanFest was our actual first time playing Philly.
Yeah.
Because like we were supposed to play The Fire. It's a sick ass band. If you guys ever get the chance to check out a band called Silence from New York, fucking unreal. It's like Sanction, but on drugs. It's great. It's great.
It's still a cool show though.
Yeah, but like there was an issue that happened where the show got canceled like halfway through, and we was going to drop the show anyway because 2 of our members couldn't go, so we was going to play as a 3-piece.
Right.
And he was like, "This is not a good look. We should probably play." So that was supposed to be our first time playing Philly, but we never did. So FanFest was the first like time we actually played Philly. And
which was dope. Like I'm glad that like people fucked with us super heavy when we went to FanFest, and like the fact that Philly like welcomed us back with open arms. Like after we showed up, but like we admittedly we were a little like underprepared, and with all the with the I don't know what happened. I think it was like a disgruntled bartender or something like that where it didn't work out or whatever. It kind of worked out like it was fate's way of being like, we'll save you from this one. But playing in PA is great. And again, and shout out Aaron again. Really great guy. Like I left my keys at a venue, and he's like, "Yo, these your keys?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'll mail them to you. No, don't worry about it." He's like, "I got a mail run, dude." I'm like, "Bro, like that's just like." Okay, yeah, it might have been like an hour and a half or like whatever drive to like come up there and shit. Like, but for somebody to like, for somebody to just be like, "Hey, bro, I'll mail you your keys," like that means a lot. And like, you put us on cool shows, and like, he's always been a good guy and stuff like that, and always talks well of us. And I would say that more than anything, like regardless of where we play, is just like we like making connections with people. We like talking to the people who are putting the shows on, or the people who are working at the bars, or the people who are you can mingle with the other bands and shit like that, but really we want to talk to the people who were there, to kind of like get a feel and to network. It's like we want everybody to be involved, so if
shout out to Keith as well.
Yeah,
Keith is the man.
I love JB's and shit like that. Yeah, JB's is a great place to play.
The bigger JB's, they have some banging ass food, dog.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that we can play video games before we get on the play a set. Like all the like the
fucking ass TN.
Yeah, we were all playing Ninja Turtles before we played our set. Yeah,
and I think either me or Shannon was in like the fire for like half the fucking time we were playing. It was bad.
Yeah. But Philly's, PA's cool. Church basements are dope too.
Yeah.
You talking about
something that I had on here was the Baltimore Hardcore Fest at the Raven Inn. Now I was just curious, like, how many years did that go on? Just the Hardcore Fest.
One?
Yeah.
That was one?
I kind of figured so, but my main question around that was just like, do you guys think that Maryland needs more dedicated like hardcore and metal festivals?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
We have too many as it stands.
Yeah, we don't need people jumping off fucking parking garages and getting your coochie ate and peeing on people. Like
That shit-
that's,
That
I mean,
was
like
kinda crazy,
that's
yeah.
cool. Like that's
not.
great, but it's
That's
not hedonism. It's like we're trying to play music. Like it would be cool if we had festivals for like what we're doing. Like no offense to like metal and shit like that, but you get a lot of like normies. You get a lot of like occasional listeners and shit like that for people who are more about the culture and like and are more into hardcore like this side of metal, you know. I think it would be great for Baltimore to have and even blend it in with something like if we could do like a mixed shit where it's like rap and hardcore.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for us too, you know, kind of just like the music that we grew up on and like our vibes and shit like that. It's rap and hardcore go hand in hand.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually jumping a little bit ahead, but I saw something where it was like you two, Trey and Squid, did a thing apparently. It was like a dope trap fusion tape for your buddy. It was like username adapter.
Yeah.
Mentality. So is that like a fusion of metal and rap?
I would say like, well, the shit that Adapter does like then was just kind of like he wanted to establish himself as a producer.
Okay.
And was rapping to kind of like fill the gap, but I think he found his sound and his vibe and shit like that, and now he's killing shit. Like I love he does that like hyper rap shit where it's just like fast
hyper-pop,
and
yeah.
loud and just in your face shit. Like but back then, me and Trey had always talked about doing like a boom bap revival kind of deal. We listened to a lot of conscious rap and like 90s shit and you know, like stuff nowadays like Conway and
Griselda.
yeah.
Griselda, BSF, drum work.
Yeah, me and
Yeah.
Sam was talking about that.
Action Bronson, fucking like all that type. Mayhem
Sweatshirt.
Loren, Earl Sweatshirt, yeah, like all that. So
Yeah.
we fuck with that shit heavy.
Absolutely.
And when we did the Adapter shit, Pack Mentality was a song that I was on, and then we did Sounds Like 2000.
Nah, no.
Sounds Like
He wanted to
2009.
do like so like metalcore Born Over Cyrus throwback shit.
Yeah,
And
and
he
that
wanted to
and
be
that
on
literally
vocals.
just came from like me and Matt were sitting at in his studio, which was just like a corner in his room at the time, and we were just fucking on a little MIDI keyboard, and some Born of Osiris shit came up, and I was like, wouldn't it be sick? And he's like, yeah, it would be. So, and that's what I've always appreciated about Matt is like, regardless how dumb the idea was, he'd flesh it out. And then he'd like, okay, well, let's make this work and shit like that. And then I'd be like, okay, we'll do this or do that. And maybe we could do this and that. And I'm a perfectionist. It takes forever for me to like, we've been talking about putting out a rap album, him and I, for years, for like 5 years. And like with Matt, like it's the same thing. He's like, yo, when are you going to come to the studio? When are you going to this? When are you going to that? But
It's coming.
it's coming. Yeah.
Like I think things are starting to finally like align to the point where it is coming because like I have ideas, whether it's just like myself. Because like my thing is like I just low key just wanna rap,
Right.
like which is not like a bad thing or whatever. Because like me, like he said, like me and him are big like giant hip hop heads. You know what I'm saying? And we just love the shit. And it's like a small. Now I won't say it's small. There's always like a correlation between hardcore punk and rap. I always feel like.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's the vibe. It's the message too. You know, it all kind of comes from the same area, the same demographic. You know, like we're all. It's just a different way of telling the same story. Yeah.
Yeah, do you listen to some of that modern trap fusion like City Morgue, Scar Lord, people like that? Y'all ever?
No. But like, cause like my thing is like, what is that? Cause like I don't mind listening to like trap and everything, but like I don't care for that hyper pop shit, like that Lil Uzi shit. Like I'm starting to put like Cardi on that. Like it's like I'm not saying like Cardi B like fucking does it, but like fucking like what's that nigga's name?
Playboy Cardi.
There you go. Yeah, like the shit or whatever. Like it's like I don't know. I just can't do it. I remember one time we had to play on a. I think it's called the House of Slam. We had to drive 4 hours. It was on a mountain that had a lake on the top of the thing, right? and we listened to 2 records. Lil Wayne, I think, just put out Funeral or whatever.
Yeah, it was Funeral.
And Uzi just put out Eternal Attack or whatever that fuck that record's called. Let me tell you something. Track 4, we jerked that shit off.
I had a headache listening to Uzi
we
shit.
turned that shit off.
I swear to
we
God, I
tried.
did.
We really did. We really did. He was like, yo, put that. He's like, you want to put that Lil Wayne shit on? I'm like, put that Lil Wayne shit on, bro. Like,
That's why I can't. That's why I can't be a hype beast.
Right.
Like I can dress like him, but I can't. Like, and it's not like.
there's no hate.
Yeah, there's no hate. Like it's good, and it like I appreciate the
It's
art
just
and
not
like
for
rap.
me,
Yeah,
yeah.
rap is headed in that direction. But I think I don't know, just something about like gangster rap. Just it's a vibe. Like it's something that you could be riding with the windows down, smoking a cigarette. And it's like cold and like dark in the city, but the lights are on, and it's just like it's a whole vibe. Yeah.
Have you heard? Well, like what I was specifically meaning to ask was like. Trap metal is what they call it. Have you heard like some of the newer fusions?
I
of
heard
rap
of like
metal?
the whole like trap metal thing, and let me tell you something. That shit needs to die off quick.
You don't like it?
I do not like it.
Can do it all right.
It's
they-
in my opinion, it's
Right.
very, 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 very fucking hard to pull that shit off.
Right.
Like I think it's to me, it's like it's so hard to pull something like that off and not make it sound dumb or cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're trying to like there's a Venn diagram and you want to like cover the middle in like a gross like just kind of generic way. It's like I would rather have 2 full meals rather than you try to make like a weird creation of the both of them.
Right.
It's for me. It's like comparing. I wouldn't say it's like trap metal, but like guerrilla warfare to like Dropout Kings. You know what I mean? Like guerrilla warfare still has that hardcore vibe, and everything has a bounce to it. It still has the energy, and it's not like this band only exists for the rapping portion, and everything around it is just to make it sound nice.
Like that stuff is like, in my opinion, that sounds good. And everything, like, so for example, Gridiron and everything, they're just like, it's wigger music in hardcore. Like that's what a lot of people are calling it. You know what I'm saying? But like, so like for example, when I think of trap metal though, I think about a mutual friend of ours that he did vocals or whatever for, and I was like, dog, I cannot do this.
Are you talking about Hunter's thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I cannot do this shit, bro. Like,
No hate, but
yeah, no hate.
hey, whatever.
Not my thing.
Yeah, I just can't do that.
Yeah, Shannon's listening to fucking crazy wild guitar riffs all the time, and then it's the same thing like 90s hip hop occasionally.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I have on here that you guys played with Sharp Tooth of Pure Noise Records.
Yo, shout out Sharp Tooth, bro. Yo, I want to address one thing. Y'all are some motherfucking herbs to be taking sides on some shit that you don't know nothing about, and I want to let the record reflect. No, yeah, I love Keith, I love Lance. And their new vocalist Marissa. Haven't
Marissa from Solemn Judgment.
I haven't met her personally, but like I've got high hopes for everything that they're about to do, everything that they're doing now, and y'all are some cornballs for feeding into some I want to fucking throw a temper tantrum while I'm on my way out the door ass fucking behavior.
I'm gonna quit the band. Please don't tell anybody. But then I'm gonna act mad at you for.
Yeah. I'm your third vocalist. How about you change the fucking name and stop playing the music? What?
Whatever.
You got any more questions about it? Go see the mogul. Talk to the mogul about it.
Yeah, talking to the mogul about it. Yeah, but Sharptooth is like really good friends of ours. Actually, Keith, me and Shannon actually play in another band called Curse Catcher with Keith from Sharptooth.
And I play in a band with Keith called
and Lance.
Keith and Lance called Mogul Alert.
And also, Gabe, you're in another band, right?
Yes, sir.
Hang Dog?
Hang Dog.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
Hot
dog, ding dong. Yeah, they're in. Yeah, it's Cunt Scratcher and Ding Dong. Deep Rest, I swear to God, Deep Rest is gonna wind up being one of two things: either like a touring comedy skit, or where we just fucking roast everybody, or it's gonna like it be like a fashion line. Like I really, yeah, like
Have you seen what like Foos Gone Wild has done? They started doing like live shows and stuff.
Really?
Like that.
Bro,
That's
that's
great,
because
yeah.
people realize now that you can capitalize on this shit.
yeah, for like personal one-on-one conversation and shit like that.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
whole crowd of people. Like,
that's
you're
really what we
fucking-
want. Yeah, we want to know who people. We want to know who people are. That's our biggest thing too. Is just like, yeah, let's hang out.
My
That's kinda
favorite
what this
thing is
about.
Yeah.
Trey just trying to figure out how to work.
After this podcast, we're gonna have like a certification in like boom operating,
Yeah, no shit.
boom mic
I'm gonna
operating.
get a job working a crane after that.
Exactly.
And
What's your
guys,
training? A boom arm.
I'm on the fucking podcast now.
You look like when you did that. You look like a very like like an Italian telling a very important part of a
it's so
story.
good.
Yeah,
Reach across the table just to
I
let
felt
you
my-
know.
I do that shit a lot.
I felt my heritage. Yeah, I was like,
So talk about playing at the Vapes Cloud House.
yo.
Oh,
Good old
shout out
Vapes.
John.
Shout out my nigga John, bro.
Yes, sir.
From prison. Shout out to my nigga John. That shit was like mad hard. Actually, we actually met. I actually became cool friends with a dude named Charlie that plays in a hardcore punk band over in the UK named Sick Ones. They came down
Wow.
and did a show. I think they did a show in Baltimore, and then they also did a show at the Vape Shop.
Yeah, which is crazy that we played with them in
We played with-
Virginia
yeah,
instead of
both.
Baltimore.
Yeah,
Oh, we played both with them.
we played with them twice.
See,
Yeah,
See how they
weed is a hell of a drug.
we used to have a drug, yeah. We played
Great
with them twice.
medicine and hell of a drug.
yeah, right, exactly.
It's beneficial.
It's
but then it does shit like
yeah,
that.
it makes you forget shit, but it also makes you forget shit. Like you know, like,
Straight up.
But yeah, that even though like it was rough, like at certain points and everything, that spot was always like mad tight. You
Vapes
could
was
always
tight,
chill.
yeah.
That's actually, you know what? Vapes is actually where I found out fucking Chris didn't know what a hoopty was. And then I realized there's other people around Virginia that don't know what a fucking hoopty is.
Do they
and
not say hoopty there?
I don't know.
That's
I really don't know.
What's a hoopty?
But because
Yeah.
like, I think
don't
Because he was-
don't pull up in a hoopty looking for a fug. Like they'll be lost. Call somebody dummy, they might get offended.
I was
Like
gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
I might as well bring it up now, right? Because I was gonna tie this in on just like you were advertising a show and you were like, come out on a Thursday. And you,
Oh,
you
yeah.
spelled it Thursday, which is just a play on like this Maryland, like almost Eastern
oh yeah,
shit,
down
like,
the ocean. Yeah,
Yeah.
go have some bows and O's.
You
Fucking
wearing a pink shirt.
pink shirt. Yeah, down the
Hank.
wash your dishes in the zinc. Yeah,
Hang out with T.
and that water.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's just so much attack. Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot
That
of
pank.
SKUs
You
to
guys
our
know who
words.
Yeah.
Stavros Halkias is?
Yeah, yeah.
He had
I
his
don't.
Mikey got Doritos on my sweatpants or something like that.
I love it when a girl
No,
ocean on my.
He spent all my sweatpants money on Doritos. That's what it was.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny because Stavros is his brother was actually really close friends to a childhood friend of mine,
Oh, no
and they
shit.
grew up like hanging out, and then they would go watch Stavros in like local Baltimore comedy clubs and shit,
Oh, yeah.
and then like I forgot about it, and then like all this shit, and then I saw him on like Burtcast, I saw him on
Yeah.
Two Bears One Cave. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I heard about him on Ryan
Cam-
Sickler's podcast.
Yeah, I think it comes out of like Greektown or something like
Yep,
that.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. But I wanted to bring up the term dummy. And if you people are unfamiliar listening, this is a term of endearment out here in Maryland.
Fuck it
My
Well, it's
mom-
both.
It's-
It's
Yeah,
universal.
yeah, yeah.
It's mostly you will mostly hear it in Baltimore. You
Yeah.
usually won't hear it like outside the county unless a lot of Baltimore people are coming out of the county.
Got to be from Baltimore.
Yeah, because like I will say like you might see some people in the county say it because especially I don't even account for this part. When I was 14 and I was about to move into Dundalk where I live now, a lot of the people from the city, because if people don't know, John Hopkins is buying a lot of the properties on the east side of Baltimore, and on the west side of Baltimore, University of Maryland is buying a lot of properties. So, and on top of that, it was basically displacing certain people in the city and stuff. So when I was 14, a lot of the people that were from the city started moving into places like Essex and stuff like that. So you might hear like certain people like that would still say the term, but like it's mostly like a Baltimore thing.
Yeah.
And, like even like whoa, even though people think like, oh, Drake make whoa into like this like hit thing, and I'm not saying that like they don't say that up there in where he's from or whatever, but like that's also a slang part of but yeah, it's like
See, I hear that kind of stuff around here because you know.
It'd be like yurt, or it'd be like yurt, or like I like the yo now because honestly I've been watching those memes. Like there was this one bird meme about this guy's cheating. He's like, yo.
Yeah.
My name is Jeffrey, man.
Yeah, no, I just think it's funny because I feel like people who don't know get confused. You know what I mean? Because I put it in, I think it was my very first post for Harbor Discussions. I had done my episode with Jake, and I was like, "Yeah, coming soon, dummy." My mom was like, I don't think you want to be calling people dummy. And I was just like, I had to explain, like, nah, you know, it's all good. It's all good.
No, not only do I want to call him dummy, but stupid and dumbass is also
yeah. It's like two O's.
Fuck it
bro.
is,
It's
dumbass.
Stupid.
Stupid. And it's STOOPIT.
Chicken nugget head ass.
Right. Yeah, no, that Baltimore accent can get crazy for sure.
And then even like the slang term, like dragging.
Dragging my nuts.
Yeah.
Shagging and dragging. Yeah.
Like shagging. Yeah, because it's supposed to be more like I'm fly kind of thing. Cutting up is like you fucking shit up. Like anything, like you cutting up.
My own drum.
Yeah, like you cutting up in like on the dance floor there, like you fucking it up on the dance floor, like like kind of shit. Yeah.
My nuts dragging.
Rocking on.
Yeah, right. Yo, Baltimore. Yo, shout out to Baltimore club music. Baltimore club music and Jersey club music is the only club music that does it right. I don't care what anybody says.
Facts.
I don't care what anybody says. Everybody is jocking off of Jersey and Baltimore club music.
That shit's still tight now too.
Yo, they jocking it so hard. Drake had to make a whole entire album about it. And that's dead ass, bro.
All right, now back into the shows. You guys did a tour with Split and Consumed with Hatred down to North Carolina.
Love
and
those
Augusta,
boys.
Georgia. Yeah, shout out. I was going to bring them up earlier when you were talking about Martin Shkreli because I got their tea.
Yes.
So what was it like going down south and how different does it get, you know, the further down?
Let me tell you something.
Oh, you were ready.
Let me tell you something. When tall boys are $2 a can and cigarettes are $5 a box, and when a woman holds the door open for you and you walk out the door and her ass don't stop till you get to your car in the parking lot, that was when I decided that I was gonna move down south and be there permanently. It was Augusta and it was Salem was another part of town that we were in or something like that.
It was I want to say it was Fayetteville, and technically the town was Harlem.
Harlem. I said Salem is Harlem.
Yeah, it was Augusta when it was explained to us.
Right.
But like it's literally in the sticks, and we played some dude's house. Shout out to my boy Hunter, bro. Like he's really cool. But we played his house.
It was in their sunroom.
I
swear to God, it was like off from the house. Like you walk in the front door, and then it's just like this big ass open room with windows and shit. They had like a little stage built up in the back, and it was buck ass fucking wild. There was a dude in a inflatable T-Rex suit moshing people. There was a guy named Trey.
He was a ginger kid named Trey trying to give everybody Crown Royal shots.
He had a bottle of Crown Royal.
He came to me, and I was like, he was like, "What's up, man?" And I was like, "I couldn't help but hear around you. Is your name Trey?" He's like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "Yo, that's mad tight. My name is Trey too." He's like, "Fuck yeah, dude. You want some Crown Royal?"
And then so we're playing and shit and fucking and like afterwards we go outside and we're like hanging out with Consumed and the boys in Split and shit, and we start drinking a bottle of Johnny Walker Black Label. And
eating chocolate shrooms.
And we were eating chocolate bars with mushrooms in them and shit.
In the
too.
dark.
In the you ever seen an episode of SpongeBob where like this is like extreme darkness and shit like that? Can't see your hand in front. We were drinking from a bottle we couldn't see, like straight up. And then like
the The spirits are telling you.
Yeah. You're just like feeling around, like you accidentally grab a nipple or something, or like, yeah. So and we're getting hammered, and then the freestyles start breaking out. And me and Trey are like by a van, and like there's like 4 other people. We don't even know who's coming and going and shit.
I think Willie Blaze. Shout out to Willie Blaze. He was dropping the beat for us.
Hell yeah.
I think he was dropping the beat.
And Justin's just standing there like,
Right.
But yeah, it was a great time. Like we got split up. So Deep Rest was Trey was with Split, and me and Chris, because we went as a 3-piece at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Chris rode with Consumed,
Nice.
and we both have different stories of how that tour was. It was great for a lot of similar reasons, but the little like niche pockets of like each of our experiences kind of like made the thing even better. Because when we came home from all of it. It was
That's
still
the
like,
story.
yeah, it was still like 2 or 3 days where we were like catching up and being like, "Yo, this happened on tour." Like Trey broke a fucking waffle maker in a hotel.
So we're coming back from Georgia after like doing all this shit, and instead of staying in Georgia, we stayed in South Carolina. We got a little bit of money to where we could get a place to stay the rest of our heads. Nice. So it's morning time. I called my dad, checked up on him and everything. He checked up on me. Got off the phone with him. I let them know, like, yo, it's like an hour before breakfast like ends or whatever. I'm just letting you guys know I'm going to be getting some breakfast. So I go in there. I'm the first motherfucker in there, bro. So I know how to work like a waffle iron and stuff like that. Yeah. I've never personally seen the way how they had this particular, like, pancake syrup, like not pancake syrup, pancake batter dispenser. And like the nozzle was like a regular nozzle or whatever, but it looks like a paddle on top, and it says push.
Yeah, I seen those.
So I was just like, okay. So I'm trying to push it, it's not budging, and I push it again. The whole fucking nozzle busts off. To this day, Willie, Chris, Squid, anybody that hears this story does not let me live it down. Because pancake batter just started pouring everywhere.
Just like an avalanche of fucking pancake batter. Yeah, me and Chris stayed in a place with Consumed, and there was fucking dookie on the shower curtain. It was gross, and it was like right next to the toilet.
Who shit on the shower curtain?
Yeah, no,
Who
it was
shit in the shower.
No. So check it out. It wasn't any of us, right? So Will was sleeping in a van. Well, he was sleeping in Justin's truck. So there was 2 beds. Justin had one. Tommy had one. Me and Chris slept on the floor, 69 style. But I guess it keeps the gay away. I don't know.
That's the only way you can do it.
I was trying to suck some toes, but yeah. So
After the toe sucker.
right, yeah. You sick fucker. So we get the room, whatever, and it's just like some like 2-star bullshit, whatever. Just it's somewhere to sleep, and we go to bed. Everything's fine, right? So the room looks nice for the most part, whatever. But I wake up. I'm the first one to wake up in the morning, which was amazing because Tommy was in bed sawing fucking logs, like like you could have heard it like in like 3 rooms down. So I go in and take a piss, and I'm like standing there, and I look over to the left, and the shower curtain right where the toilet was had splatter on it, like somebody had projectile shat on the fucking curtain. And then like right, but then like checked out and left, and then housekeeping came and cleaned the room, quote unquote, and left a dookie curtain.
They
Probably saw and was like, fuck.
I'm not touching that.
Pay me enough. Fuck
Right,
it.
yeah, exactly. They probably quit, and then we just got the job. It's the same sheets, the same. Yeah, we were on the floor. My face was on that carpet. Like,
There's probably shit on the carpet.
there was shit on the. Yeah, if there's shit on the shower curtain, there's shit in the carpet.
That's
Yeah,
where
dude,
for
just-
sure.
Just like when I worked at Belk in our local mall, man. Like they would occasionally they'd ask me to go like get all the trash and stuff like that, which I was like, all right, I can gather trash.
Yeah.
But when it came to like the bathrooms and stuff like that, I would like walk in and then see like a clogged toilet and be like, ain't me. That ain't me. I did not take a janitorial position. If I wanted to clean toilets, I would have asked for that.
I would have signed up for the shit.
Yeah, luckily they didn't to ask me to unclog or clean a toilet because I would have been like, no.
Shit, you gonna unclog a raise?
Yeah, dead ass. Dude, at my job I'm at now, man, the only time I ever really got pissed, man, they had me wiping down shelves with chemical spray and shit all day. I can do that shit for a few hours, but all day.
Not all day.
And it's like, it's one thing if it's like a regular job, but like, yo, this place is so damn dusty that literally it's like, you could go into the shelves where the books are and just go, and yeah, you drop a book and it sprays fucking cobwebs and shit. But like they don't clean it, and instead of getting like staff to do it, they just had us do it in our spare time, and I was just like,
If you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Yes,
me and my dad fucking didn't carpool that day. If I was driving, I would have bopped out that bitch, dude. Ugh. So, I wanted
That's
to
why I
talk
play
about
music.
yeah. I wanted to talk about y'all getting featured on Hate 56 a couple times for the Mosh Against Addiction shows. Just kind of talk about that.
Well, fucking yeah! Shout out to Sonny for coming out and putting us on video. You know, the handful of times he's done it. I mean, how I look at it, it's like, who the fuck are we but a couple kids from Baltimore, and here Sonny is, you know, with like a global reach, trying to like put hardcore on the map and getting all these
everyone too.
yeah and
Archive and shit.
yeah. Trade try to come in like an operative. Oh, we talking about Mosh? You want to talk about Mosh? What's the scoop? Let's get it. But yeah, so, you know, for him to have such a wide reach and for him to have such a big fan base and for him to have done all this work, you know, virtually, like, on his own, you know, out of his own pockets and, you know, with the help, with the help from the scene and stuff like that, like, and the support, you know, that he gets from, like, Patreon and shit like that, it's really beautiful to see what, like, hardcore actually, like, the principles of hardcore working, you know, and the love of hardcore and the taping it and documenting it, because like I think it's the sickest shit. It'll live forever.
Right.
Like when I'm 50 or 60 or something and like I forget about, you know, not that when you get old sometimes that shit happens.
Yeah.
But you know, when I have kids and grandkids and shit and I'm hanging out or whatever and it gets brought up, you know, I could go back to YouTube or I could go to Hate 56 or I could whatever and say, look, you know, we did this back in and that to me, the fact that he's doing that for everybody and, you know, the fact that he's fucking touring with Rage now to cover that shit.
Got Rolling Stone and stuff like that.
I can't think of another person that deserves it more.
Yeah, that was his only dream too.
Words.
Yeah.
And that's the craziest part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got a work ethic like no other, man. I'm just repeating things I've already said, but like he's definitely an inspiration for me in this whole thing, you know, just like
for sure.
Work ethic and just, you know, creating an archive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on this earlier, right? Part of the reason I'm doing this and like trying to document the Maryland culture is because like outside of Baltimore and crabs, you know, what is Maryland known for on a larger scale? And it's like I started looking at exactly.
We're the only state that's the shape of a Tommy gun. So fuck around and find out.
And that motherfucker loaded too. That motherfucker loaded.
Duck motherfucker.
Yeah, see what it is, dummy.
No, it's interesting you brought up body more because me and my dad, you know, we've brought up that phrase in like our cigar discussions, and it's like, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, because that's like the main reputation. And it's like we're so much more than that. We're so much more than crabs and Old Bay too. You know what I'm saying? While that shit's tight. There's a lot of talent.
There's a huge skate scene in Baltimore and Maryland.
Especially in the city.
Yeah. There's food. Like there's a lot of really good eats in Maryland.
There's a lot of crazy food, especially like sometimes like they will have bike party at last Friday. Usually most of the months in the year. And I remember one time me, Brian, and Squid went and did one. And they had a chicken cheesesteak with a Mountain Dew glaze. When I tell you that I didn't put no mayonnaise or ketchup on that bitch, and it was probably one of the juiciest chicken cheesesteak I ever had in my whole entire life. That shit was slapping, bro.
Yeah, and that's like food truck shit.
Yeah,
like our food trucks are bombing.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you go to these places. You go to like Ekibin. You go to fucking.
Ekibin's fire. Mad expensive.
Yeah. Like Bird is fire. Like anything in our house is dope as shit.
I love our house.
Hey.
If you're sleeping on our house in Baltimore, you're fucking up.
Yeah, you really are.
You could spend $3 and get a fat ass sub from Greek Village though.
That's fast.
Right, yeah, and
Damn.
yeah. So I mean, like, there's a million places. It's just I would say Maryland. You have to drive around, and then get out the car.
Right,
You know,
you
it's
really gotta find all the diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
yeah,
A
because you
lot of
can
the good stuff here is like hole in the wall.
Especially when you get out in these rural ass parts of counties and shit.
Really.
Right,
Yo,
yeah.
shout out to JJ and Hopkins on Monument Street.
straight up.
Straight up.
Shout out to the fucking halal food truck on the corner of fucking St. Paul, bro. Like that.
Yo, that nigga is there all the time. Especially him and the one that's on Marketplace and we're next to Baltimore Soundstage.
Always
That's
there.
always there. He's one of the fewest like in the whole entire city that leaves last. Like I've seen this man stay out there until like 8, 9 o'clock and then will go home. And I'm just like, thank God, because a lot of these motherfuckers wrap up at 5 o'clock and say, "I'll talk to y'all niggas tomorrow."
Yeah, a lot of people.
Right.
I mean, like,
Don't tap my truck.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I get like dietary reasons and restrictions as far as like what you choose to eat and stuff like that. But a lot of people, I feel like, pass up what makes Baltimore great or like what makes Maryland great is because they're like, oh, I don't want to eat at that dingy place. It's like, bro, like if the menu is the same menu they had since the 80s when they opened and it's
Fire.
tinted yellow from
On
cigarette
God.
smoke and fucking and cheeseburger grease, like that's the place you want. I want a cockroach to be blocking up 2 letters in a
Poor
word.
customer
Like,
service
yeah.
probably means good
Yeah,
food.
exactly. Yeah, if they treat you like shit, that food's about to be banging. Like,
There's a place Del Huerto over here, and they have Spanish-speaking staff. You go up there, it's what do you want?
yeah,
It's not how are you? What would you
Yeah.
like to eat, sir? What you want?
we know what we sell, motherfucker. Good food. Are you gonna
Yeah.
buy it or are you gonna get the fuck out of my face? Like,
Exactly, and it's a
That's
hole
the
in the
fucking
wall
game.
spot.
Right, yeah.
You know, people like I read reviews and stuff like that of this place. People like, oh, this place was messy. It was dingy. I was like,
That food's
bitch,
fire, though.
shut
Okay,
up.
yeah, no, keep all the fucking Foursquare motherfuckers and the review
You know
pieces
why
of
it's
shit.
messy? Because they're too busy making badass food for
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah,
dude.
Shut the fuck
They're
up.
grinding.
Right, yeah.
All right. First trip to New Jersey. Tell me if I'm wrong. Was at the Championship Bar and Grill in Trenton.
Parkville
little-
Part 2.
You mean Little Dundalk? yeah, Park.
That one, everything went wrong.
What
Was
happened?
at that show?
What happened?
Where literally like everything didn't work for a minute.
Yeah, it was abrupt, forced under, dread, weaponized.
That
Or was that-
show was pretty tight.
Or was
I
that
remember that
was
one.
that in a weird room? Was that when we like walked through and like the pool? It was like they were playing pool, like,
Pool,
right at
whatever.
the door, and then like
Yeah.
you had to go through another set of doors, and the room was like a triangle shape kind of, or
Yeah,
like a diamond.
and then like the merch tables were like in the next room or whatever, but it wasn't
Yeah.
really like a next room. That's where we put
Yeah.
our band shit and stuff. Yeah,
And there was like a convenience store in the next shopping center over, and I was drinking fucking Spanish like nectar, like I was drinking juice.
Nectar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know what
I
you're
was drinking like
talking
mango
about.
nectar and shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
they have a mini strip, and like the shit literally looks like Parkville Part 2.
yeah.
It's
we
hilarious.
we were out there in New Jersey.
Shout out to the
like,
Champions Bar. I don't think they're open anymore.
Damn,
Really?
R.I.P.
Yeah, I think they closed down. I thought they closed down.
That was like one of the last
Oh,
times.
I could
actually,
be.
you're right, I think.
Okay.
I feel like I saw something about that.
I know that one video game place. I know they shut down like years ago, but it was like not the World Trade. It was World something. I don't know what that fucking venue was called.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Champ was tight.
But yeah, that place was cool. It definitely did feel like Parkville or Dundalk. It felt very familiar to home. Like
Yeah.
I think I was like a cool vibe to just play something like that. That felt like it
They
was
had a
home away from home.
CVS, and across from the CVS, there was a Chinese spot.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That making
That's
it work.
home.
That like you don't even have to feed us. Like the venue doesn't have to feed us. You don't have to give us drink tickets. You don't have to give us nothing. Like
Right.
okay, like if you got a neighborhood that's got like a local spot, we're cool.
Yeah.
Like we're just gonna go fuck around with them.
Yeah, it's almost even better.
That's what
Let's
we-
all go to the local spot.
Yeah,
after.
that's what we
Yeah.
did when me and Trey were out in Philly when we were playing
Fan
Fan
Fest.
Fest.
Yeah,
we got lost in the neighborhood and went to a Chinese spot. Same place, cockroaches in the motherfucking menu.
Yeah.
The shit was all yellow and stuff. The floors were sticky and shit. Yeah, and dudes are fucking 12 in dirt bikes down the street and shit.
They really were,
yeah.
yeah.
It was lit. There was a four-wheeler out that motherfucker, everything. Ski mask, the whole nine. Yeah,
Yeah,
and we were
that's
like,
that's Rip Egg Food Young was hitting for sure.
yeah.
If
I'm
there's
a-
beef outside, it's a good spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you got to fight for the food, yeah.
If you have an unnecessary elevation to get into your store, I know it might be good. Like-
You like the incline to get in?
Yeah, like and you know those mini ramps. They be like, if this is like the door, they'd be like that steep for no reason. It's like you about to do a trick on a skateboard.
Just make it flat, like.
Yeah, like what the fuck are you doing?
This is more of a hazard.
Y'all making me like really fucking hungry.
Oh yeah, I'm hungry.
What's that in there? What is it? JNY? Sushi place around here?
I'm not sure.
I think it's called JNY. I might.
Sheets.
Sheets is cool, I guess. We can. Look,
Cheese
they
curds.
got this one thing. I don't know how much you fuck with sushi.
Oh, I love sushi.
Son, it's crab with Old Bay on like a roll, right? But it's cut into 4, and on top, fucking ramen noodles.
Yo.
It's crazy.
See, look, when you want to talk about Baltimore sucking our own dick, it's a crab roll with Old Bay, but it's sushi though. Like, cultural appropriation, my ass.
It's so good. It's with the spicy mayo on there, bro.
Taking it back.
Yo, I don't care what anybody says. Like, I think spicy mayo is the best thing to come out of Asian cuisine.
Not the best thing, but it's amazing.
so
Bro,
Sriracha
I
mayo?
will lather that shit on my bread. Like, what's mayo? Put that shit on my cheesesteak. I don't give a
And
fuck.
Trey hates mayo.
I hate mayo, bro.
Well, but so I mean, have you tried the mayo that they use for that by itself?
What, the Kewpie mayo?
you ain't gonna get me to.
It,
The
I
only-
mean, it
I'm like
tastes
the
that
only-
too.
different.
the only-
That
the
shit'll
only
fuck me
mayo-
up sometimes.
Mayo
The
and
only
sour
mayo
cream.
that I would actually
Heavily
eat
fucks with
is vegan mayo.
Nah,
That's
I
a-
fuck with regular mayo.
Nah.
Have you ever been eating something and you enjoyed it and then you found out there was mayo on that bitch and you couldn't continue eating it?
No. Because I always check my shit.
I
yeah.
got you.
I
He's
always
always,
check my shit,
always
bro.
no mayo. Yeah, this shit could come with like cum on it, and he'd be like, as long as there's not mayo. Like,
That
Exactly.
white shit, that's not.
oh, okay. That's not we good. We good.
Thought that was mayo.
Because I'm
Tastes
not
like kids. I like that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to switch the mayo for switch the ranch for the swap the mayo for
ranch?
ranch on the chicken at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I was still like skeptical. I'd be like, "Where's the seasoning in this
Yeah,
bitch?"
no
Like,
shit.
Yeah, see the green flakes, the little
Yeah, like the
oregano and
herbs
dill
and
flakes?
shit,
Like
yeah.
fucking mayo.
like I have like this close to my face. I just do it. Like,
Smell it.
I know they said fuck that and just give me mayonnaise and
Ask
stuff.
Yeah.
somebody else to link your sandwiches.
I tilt it to the side, see if it runs. If I can do this, you don't come off. We have a
That's
problem.
mayo, yeah.
Yeah. We
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
All right,
I asked for no shit.
I got 3 last points. I wanted to talk about the 420 mini fist at the headquarters. This was like years ago, and it was actually
That was
how
good.
I discovered you guys more or less, and it was where I picked up the live shot tee.
That's what's up.
It was so long ago, I doubt you remember. I actually talked to you for a minute.
I want to say so, yeah.
Because I just fucked with what y'all got going on and everything like that. So I just wanted to know, like, you know, what your experiences were like playing there and in Westminster in general.
Shout out Mike Powell, first off.
Yeah, shout out Mike Powell.
Absolutely.
That dude, like, he always tries to look out for us. Like, what he fucks with us heavy, and I always have big respect for Mike Powell. Shout out to Mike Powell.
And the fact that he like opens his doors to have like hardcore bands come in and fuck shit up and be respectful but also give us the space to be like, yo, like, yeah, it's my house, but like fucking dance, hang out, have a good time,
Right.
whatever,
and actually give us like a little bit of gas money or pay us a bit.
Yeah.
And send us off. Like it will probably be like 15, 20 heads in that bitch, and he will give us like some money.
Right.
And I'll be like, you sure about this? Like, which I understand because like everybody try to give a little bit of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But like
and
he always looks out for us no matter what.
Yeah, during those times, it really meant a lot. That like because we were driving places and would be fucking upside down on like trying to get out there. It would be like a exposure deal more than anything. And the fact that Mike brought us in, let us fucking party at his place. Well, not party, but get down and shit. And would find money for us regardless of the situation was always tight, and the opportunities and the shows that he wanted to put on and the shows that he did put on and the ones that he specifically put us on. Yeah, it's always been a good time and good hangs.
Yeah, everybody go listen to episode 3 if you haven't, because Mike Powell talks a lot about the headquarters and everything like that, and he really goes in depth. Like you said, he's all about giving, and that's what I realized. Like, despite what it might look like, he's not making that much profit out
He
here.
really isn't.
And he's doing it all out of love. And I
Yeah,
really got
if
to see
anything,
that.
he's taking that shit out of his own pocket.
Yeah, he said he
Yeah.
was like hundreds in the hole, and it's just like it made me realize, I already knew, he had love for this shit because he opened his house up, but it was like just knowing all that, you know, it just like really solidifies his character. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Shout out to all the promoters that always go in the holes but still do shows on some real shit.
Yeah.
Because that's I feel like that's unfortunately as common as the promoters who make sure they stay out of the hole by not paying. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people who are really putting themselves in situations like that just to make sure that all these other bands can really get an opportunity and have a good show. It's pretty sick.
Also, shout out to my nigga Caleb. I know he's been trying to get us down to VB for a while, and everything should just keep on happening or whatever. But I know, but I know he's been having the same issues, and this nigga is still kicking and trying to do this shit. And like people like him, I just hope they don't give up, because like I feel like they will bounce. I feel like we just gotta change our trajectory and be a little bit smarter, and just like Squid said, we gotta play the game.
Right.
And we got to play the game in a certain way. I just hope like we could find that way and help everybody out, like not just the bands, the promoters, the venues, or people who comes to all walks of life or whatever.
Yeah, everything feeds everything. So we all
everything
work
feeds
together.
everything.
Yeah,
no doubt. I wanted to talk about the video shoot at the Raven Inn you did for OG Mentality. Soon with Hatred, Path to War, Trauma Queen, and Transgression were there.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. What I missed.
No. I mean, what did I do, man? What did I do, bro?
Go to the fucking corner.
Oh
Fuck,
shit.
man. What do you want? Okay, like there was just like a bunch. It was okay. So look, like initially, like it was a deal where like a buddy of ours wanted to do a video for us, and we said okay, cool. And then it was kind of like it was loosely planned, and like there wasn't really a lot of directed focus, but we did it. And then there was a period of time where we were like waiting on it. And then we were waiting on it more. And then we were waiting on it more. And then I think it got to the point where it was
like we low key kind of forgot.
6 months after we put the song out.
Yeah, I would say like we low key kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, and then and then the situation was like I think it was kind of like they had felt like we were poking the bear too much. So then it went from like a labor of love and shit to like, okay, well now I don't know if money was ever discussed prior to, but money wound up being exchanged for it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the final product that we got just felt rushed, you know, so it was like it's there.
Yeah.
You know, and we really appreciate the work being done and shit like that. But it was a lot of missteps with that. And like, so for us personally, when we look back on it, because like we're all still tight, like we're all a part of the scene, like everybody involved in that video. We still got mad love for each other and shit, and are still active and working together today. But yeah, it's just funny. So whenever we look back on it, we're just like, yo, there's the same shot again.
Yeah.
Yo, there's we waited that long for this. We, you know, like, and then like our performance on the video was just kind of like, nah. Whatever, we could do better. It's there. It's there for right now. Like you know, if we would have had more creative direction and shit like that, I feel like it definitely would have been something a lot more, a lot better for everybody. Right. I would say, yeah, a lot better for everybody involved.
Learning lesson.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
All right. So just a general question: out of all the places in Baltimore, whether they're still around or not, you know, Why Not Lot, Depot, Auto Bar, Sidebar. What's your favorite spots to either attend shows or play shows at when it comes to playing in Maryland or Baltimore?
The only
Sidebar, dude.
Yeah, Sidebar is legendary. R.I.P. the Chomp City Art Space. That is a relic. It's a fucking if it's still there, it's a tattoo shop now.
Tattoo spot.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny because when I was working at Sweet Grade, I met one of the tattoo artists right after like they shut that shit down and everything. But yeah, dude, fucking
yeah, Charm City. I was gonna say Charm City Arts
That's
back in
just
the day
a relic.
was a great place to play. It was fun. It was like,
before a lot of people generate. I'm talking about like I'm talking about bands like Minor Threat playing that stuff.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's actually what I first met Vane and saw Vane. They were
Like,
touring with Spitback.
Didn't we play
and
with like
Breaking Will.
Tiger Flower or something like that?
Yeah, Tiger Flowers from New York. Tiger Flowers from New York. That shit is fucking crazy. Like kind of like a post like hardcore kind of thing. It was really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I miss Sonar too.
Yeah.
Sonar was pretty
What did
cool.
Sonar turn into? It was like
The paparazzi.
the paparazzi.
Oh yeah, that's like a nightclub.
Yeah.
Fucking-
Yeah, that
Yo,
was
fuck
weird.
that stage, yo.
Yeah, but we were talking about that earlier. How
Small
like
rooms are cool.
yeah, how like a lot of venues in Baltimore now like that to answer that question we would have to be like, oh, it would be this place, but it's closed. Like
Right.
Sidebar,
Yeah.
shit like that. Yeah.
They were supposed to
like
bring back
those
the
places.
record. I thought the record was
Hell
back.
yeah.
The record's back, dude.
Yeah,
It's
I-
open again.
Yeah, and something tells me it's going to take. Something tells me in the back of my head it's crazy expensive to rent out.
Yeah.
Oh, they're probably gonna want you to sell tickets like you're fucking 13 again.
Yeah, they can suck me backwards. I understand, but they can suck me backwards.
Go play the
Yeah.
Ice Nine Kills show down there, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
All right, this is the last thing I have. So I was just like scrolling through Facebook and stuff like that. Well, what is Grit Gang?
Oh,
So Grit Gang is a thing that me and Paul kind of like started as far as like a rap collective, but it's not just a rap collective. We're trying to do like a collective as far as like arts, whether that's design, whether that's actual like painting or drawing art. Like if anything, I wanted to grow into like a powerhouse, like a Baltimore kind of powerhouse kind
Right.
of thing, if possible. Like so, like it has like many names kind of under it, but like we all sharing like our talent / our culture and putting it out in a good vision. But like for the most part, it starts out like just as rapping because like a lot of people that we talk to like we kind of getting this guy back into rapping a little bit, and which I'm pretty glad because I'm trying to get him on a project with me, him, and Squid.
Nice.
And yeah, he's just lazy. But like I told him, like you can just rap about whatever you want. It doesn't have to like be what we're talking about.
Right.
as long as it's a vibe. Like
yeah, as long as it's a vibe.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Authentic.
Yeah. So it's like a Wu-Tang Clan kind of mindset,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just having everybody come together and form one bigger body, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like Trey was saying, have everybody from everywhere, videographers, photographers,
yeah, it could be
artists.
like short films for all like
Yeah, you
like,
could fucking
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
passionate about cooking, fucking let's put an event where you fucking cater it. Let's
Right.
we're just basically and Grit Gang because after some research, I think
Yeah,
it was
like
might have been
it
like
was
some
an affiliate with like 360 Mafia.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we kind of switched it to GG because we're like video game nerds. So like, good game. Like, so we would just be like GG.
Is that where
Yeah.
the GG in your username comes
Yeah.
from?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
yeah.
And then this might seem totally fucking random, but like I said, I was just looking through posts and I saw these terms together and I was like, I gotta ask, whatever the fuck it is. I just seen the words fork bishop and gat monkey.
That sounds like Paul.
Yeah, that's just some random shit.
Where the
I
fuck
don't.
is
That is not like what it said exactly. It was just those terms in a post, and I was just like,
Where do you have the post?
it's on Facebook somewhere.
It's
I don't
on
have it
Facebook.
pulled up,
Fork
yeah.
Bishop and Gat
Wasn't
Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
So I will say, okay, let me bring up in my defense, there well see, I don't even remember a Fork Bishop or a Gat Monkey ever being involved, but that's again when we were talking earlier, I was like, have you ever got stoned and had an idea?
Like that,
so-
probably.
So the group chat that we have on Facebook is called Tug a Pecker LLC. And the nicknames are as followed. Chris is Cordell Cream. Gabe's I remember what yours is. Gabe's fiance Devin, her nickname is Marsha Meat Pie. Gabe's name was Jethro Mapleseed. I was Jonathan Taste, and Trey was Petey Ponzu. So it's just like or like
that's
an
how Indonesian is. Like, is that
Petey
Indonesian?
Ponzu.
It's like Petey Pablo. But like,
Indonesian.
like the Korean Petey Pablo. So so it's all just like I think in my brain it just comes from like that whole like packing shit, like just like that lunchtime, like just wild shit that don't even make sense. Like yo, your haircut look like a you make like a noise or something, and everybody dies laughing. Yeah, your neck look like hot dogs, head ass. Yeah, yeah, right.
Yo, you packing people up at your birthday party when you were sitting on the dunk chair.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite part.
Oh
of the whole
hell yeah,
day.
yeah. For my birthday party, we got a dunk tank, and I dressed up like a clown, and fucking they were trying to dunk me, and I was just talking hella shit. Yeah, but like, I think in like a real comedic kind of like just poking at shit, being silly all the time. I mean, I can get serious, and I'm a Cancer, so like my feelings get involved a lot. But like the majority of my headspace is make a joke about it, and just whatever sounds funny. So I'll just put words together that make no sense. Like his cousin's name in another group chat is Glimp.
This is the best. This is the best name.
And I swear to God,
in history.
I swear to God, and I was just
I will
sitting
die on his grave.
I was just sitting there coming up with names. I want to see if I can get okay, yeah, this chat is called Dirt Star. And if you don't know what a Dirt Star is, that's your asshole. Okay, so one of the names is Stern Burglar 47. Josh's name is Stammering Steamer. Mine is Quest Jester. And Trey's is Big Lost Sauce. And then we have Zach, whose name is Glimp Buster Shack the Third. So, and it just makes no sense. It's just. I think part of it comes from like the rapping shit too. Is just like I like shapes of words and stuff, and if it sounds silly and feels funny to say, I just mush it together and try to make something. So, Fork Bishop and Gat Monkey, I have no clue, but like if you look at like certain descriptions on my SoundCloud, there was a track that me and Trey did, and the description was like, do you love tube socks and hate your mother? Like just like wild shit like that. Just like it's all out of left field. It makes no sense. It's nonsense. So like a lot of the times, I tell people, we're just like it means nothing. We're just out here having a good time, just kind of fucking with people. That's why I don't understand why people get all caught up in fucking in their feelings. It's like even if we say some shit that's wild, it's like we're just having fun. It don't matter.
Gotcha.
Don't get offended by a Fork Bishop. Yeah.
All right, that was everything I had. Last note, do you guys just want to tell the people any upcoming shows you might have in the future? Or when material might be coming out?
Nope, we ain't telling you that because we don't even know.
Next week, guys, get ready.
Yeah. We've been saying we're gonna drop a rap album for 3 years.
That is crazy. That is true. Though.
I would say if you fuck with us, just ride. Just keep fucking with us. Like shit'll come out. We're obviously not putting this shit up anytime soon. COVID couldn't kill us, so. I think that says something, and with Gabe being in the band now, we have a new angle to write from, and a whole bunch of ideas. We got a Dropbox and a Google Drive full of shit, and we're thinking of new stuff every day. If we're not covering Too Many Puppies by Primus at fucking band practice, we're writing shit. Trey rolls his eyes at us all the time because we're in there trying to.
They always do this to me.
We're trying to play a song that we already have, and we're writing a song as we're doing that, and then it just goes into Primus. Yeah. So as far as music is concerned, like it's definitely coming. We're trying to do bigger and better things with like the next recording. Pre-proing and shit like that takes time, and we've been doing that at home and stuff, trying to get a little bit more diligent and deliberate with our actions as far as having material to go back to and practice on our own, to have tighter sets, fill it with more music. Every time we play a show, they're always like, "Oh man, I wish you guys played for more," and blah blah blah, and this that, and well, we're working on it.
Yeah,
so.
write the music for me too.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then perform it. You know what? If you want a longer show,
I'd like
no.
to watch you play this.
That's like a
Yeah.
teacher, like, you gonna get up here and teach?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Low-key,
Yeah,
a wish of mine is that a band would just be like, bro, come play guitar real quick.
yeah.
I know the song. Let's get
Right,
it.
I'm gonna say say less.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Say less. Yeah.
But yeah. As far as music is coming, it's coming. As far as videos are coming, that's in the works. We're talking about that. As far as merch, we got ideas for a new merch drop here soon. It's gonna get cold. We fuck with the big boys, so maybe them pullover hoodies, maybe some track pants. You never know. Might fuck around, drop a bag. I don't know.
You can get booty shorts.
Hell yeah, it.
In the middle of winter.
We got
Deal
yeah.
with cold.
That's hilarious.
It's Hoochie Daddy season all year round. It don't matter. But
As far as shows, we
yeah.
have
925.
Shamrock, right?
Mhm.
We playing with Downswing and the Noxious Boys.
Yeah, you're
Shout out to my boy Zach. I've known Zach for years. He
Matt.
if there's anybody that ever came close to Robbie that I personally saw is that motherfucker. And he's such a great, gentle soul. I love that guy a lot.
And then
And Long Island, we play on October 7th. For
New York,
the
what
first
up,
time.
baby? I'm about to be all up in that ass.
Yeah, if for some reason there's any like NY
Whoop in it.
people up there, I know Long Island is like about from people like in Buffalo and
Better hang out with Pete.
certain everything. But like, if you want to like show us some love, I don't know, you probably be like, I don't know these Baltimore niggas, but
Hey, look,
like,
it's us and Detonate. Come out.
I think that they dropped.
God damn it. It's us.
Detonated. I don't know if they are no longer a weapon of mass destruction. They have.
We have
Shout out Detonate. Rest in peace, Detonate.
me and Squid might be putting one show on together, either towards the end of November or like between the end of November / December.
Yeah. For real, like keep your ears to the floor and your eyes peeled for shit like that, because I have the potential to be working with some venues in Baltimore.
Nice.
Try and put on our own shows. Try and do shit the Mike Powell way of giving back to artists and getting the right people involved and just putting money in people's pockets, because times is tough. But motherfucker, if you got $20 to spend on a beer,
Right.
you could spend 10 on a beer and spend the other 10 on a band, because we need to get the fuck out of here.
No doubt.
Yeah, everybody does. Jive Bomb, End It, all those guys who are paving the way, getting deals and shit like that. We've been hanging around long enough, and know what's right, know what's wrong, and want to kind of help
out.
steer it
Yeah.
in the right direction a little bit more.
And we sadly have a show that we can't speak about. Keith maybe slip my lips about it. So it's going to be a fun one. Like from what I've been told, from at least the two bands I've been told who it was, it's going to be a fun one. It's most likely going to be at JB's, but like it's definitely going to be a fun one. That's going to be like in the middle of the winter.
Stay tuned.
So keep an eye on that. I promise that we will try to get way better at the social media thing. I know we do a little bit better like when it's on our own personal accounts, but we need to be way better about that shit. So I promise that we'll be way better about that. But yeah, the 25th, this Sunday, Shamrock. I don't know why you would take a little road trip to Long Island. It's 4 hours, but if you want to rock and hang out and smoke weed, slide through.
That's in October.
That's October now.
Yeah, it's in October.
Yeah, it's in October.
Yeah.
Yep, slide through. I don't know
You got
why I said
time.
what day
Catch your Greyhound.
Yeah. And yeah, like you said, the music is coming soon, hopefully. New merch drops coming, hopefully, and then other things. So if you want to follow us through our preferred socials, don't follow Shannon because Shannon said, "Who the fuck is this motherfucker?" and not even think twice. This motherfucker.
Yeah, don't ask Shannon for a shirt. You ain't gonna get it.
You don't get nothing from me.
Like, he doesn't even check the group chat that we're in on Instagram.
I can't tell you how much I've been asked, like, how much is your... I don't fucking know. I don't know what time you got it. I don't even know what time I have to be there.
That's facts, though.
I just show up.
That's his famous line. I just show up.
I just show up. I'm here. I like the music and I like to play it. Everything else, that'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
All right, that's all I got, guys. I want to thank you for coming on.
for sure.
Thanks for having us.
Deep breaths.
Yep.